This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Yes, sir. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Time to have some fun here on the Big O Radio Show. Yes, on a beautiful Tuesday, day after, of course, July 4th. I hope you all were safe out there, of course, and had a good time. We are locked and loaded. We welcome back Sean Stanley, of course. He is back in the mix with us after enjoying his 4th of July. You light up a lot of fireworks yesterday, Sean. Did you do that? You have all 10 fingers? Yep. He's showing me all 10 fingers. Okay, good. All right. That's good because not everybody has their fingers after July 4th, unfortunately. That's the sad part. Folks, when you light something, let it go. It's the only tip I can give you on 4th of July. Light it and run in the other direction. Okay? That's what you got to do. I'm just saying. All right? I see a lot of the RIPs for Hank Goldberg are coming in. As yesterday we found out that Hank passed away at the age of 82. And I gotta tell you, it was David J. Neal asked me to give him some quotes and stuff, and so I gave him a couple paragraphs about Hank, and it was I gotta admit, it was breaking me down while I was writing it for David. And David J. Neal did a great job in the Herald. David Hyde did an excellent job in the South Florida Sun Sentinel. I don't think I noticed anything in the Palm Beach Post. I can't say I looked heavily, but anyway, just congratulations to them. They did a nice job honoring Hank. And listen, for a lot of you young folks out there, it's not really going to matter much to you. But as I told David yesterday, that Hank meant so much to all of us as sports fans. And for me personally, first of all, I was a listener, a fan, and then I ended up working with the man. And so for me, it was one of those things. And look, Hank was one of those guys that on the air, he was rough at times and he was brutal at times and all of that. But guys like Josh Darrow will tell you, anybody that's gotten close to him will tell you that he's not that dude behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, whenever I had any kind of issues, Hank was, dude, he was the one that would call me, like, hey, you all right? You need this? Hey, you should do this, that, whatever. So he was always, as I as I told David yesterday, I don't think he used that line, but I said he was a mensch, and he was a really good dude. Um, Different kind of guy. But if you really think about it, Hank was a pioneer. He was at the beginning of sports radio in this country. As sports radio started to explode in the 80s and into the 90s, that Hank was a part of that. From the 610 days to obviously QAM and IOD and everything else that he was able to do throughout the years, and all the other stations that he was in before he got to QAM and everything else. Was it 710 or something like that? So GBS, I think it was, that he was on. So, he was able, obviously, he was a fixture here in this town. And that's the beginnings of sports talk in South Florida. Hank is like, he's the root of the tree, basically. And just like what we talk about with Neil on the talk side, Hank is the same thing on the sports side. And as I told David, he was way ahead of his time because he was always telling you about the lines and talking about the gambling angle to sports. And look at it now. Finally, the leagues have given in. Finally, gambling is becoming a bigger part of our everyday lives. It's not as taboo as it used to be, all those things. This is now when Hank needed to be like in his heyday right now. You know what I mean? But hey, listen, man. For me personally, I was a fan. I was a listener, producer, and then obviously a reporter and a host. And so I went from listening to Hank to sitting next to him and breaking a story. You know what I mean? Or talking about something out of camp and some kind of breaking news and going on his show, which was the premier show in town and the show that got more insight than anybody else because Hank broke tons of stories, gave great insight on everything going on with the Dolphins or anything else that was going on in town. He usually had, a scoop and a story and the insight and all of that kind of stuff. So for me, as a guy that was growing up listening to Hank, to be able then to cross over and sit in the same studio and break stories and talk to him about insight that I found out or whatever, that was really, really cool. So it was a pleasure for me, obviously, because what inspired me to do what I do every single day is people like Hank Oberg, people like Ed Kaplan. Those are the guys that motivated me to do what I'm doing now. Ed and Hank. I can't say enough about what Ed Kaplan has meant to me. And then Hank Oberg, obviously, being able to work with him and to hear about, look, I knew about his physical issues, and yesterday, obviously, he succumbed to them, and I knew he had the diabetes, and I knew he had the amputated leg and all of that, and he's a fighter, man. Let me tell you, 82, that's a good life. And Hank enjoyed every moment of his life. Most of us have not had the amount of fun that Hank Oberg had in his 82 years. So Hank, it's a sad day that we lost him yesterday, but I will only think of smiles when I think of Hank Oberg because I will think of what he did for me. I will think of what he did for sports fans in South Florida. I will think of what he did for sports radio in South Florida. And I will also know that he had a great, great life. One that most guys would, love to have. You know what I mean? He enjoyed every moment of it. And so that's the good thing for Hank, that it wasn't 82 years of boredom or anything like that. It was a pretty damn active lifestyle and traveling all over the place. And it was nice to see him get the love on ESPN, get articles all across the country that people, were writing and talking about Hank. And I know the Las Vegas Review-Journal got it first, obviously. And it's so weird, right? Because he passes away yesterday in Las Vegas, and I'm headed to Las Vegas tonight. And as I told a buddy of mine, I'll have a drink on him tomorrow night somewhere in Vegas and toast Hank over there in Vegas because he's been there for the last 15 years. But he meant so much to all of us in every way possible. If you're a sports fan growing up here in South Florida, Hank Goldberg was a part of your life. You know, for a lot of you young people, the last 15 years, you don't know anything about Hank Goldberg. You have no idea who he is and what he stood for and how he helped, kind of build sports talk down here in South Florida and how he inspired people like myself to get into sports talk. And hell, I'm still doing it to this day, 32 years later, and we're on a completely different path, being on the digital path. But it was one of those that moved me yesterday when I heard of his passing. You know, you kind of knew that it was coming because you knew about all his health issues. But you got to admire the man, how he has fought through it all. And 80, I'll tell you this, I'll take 82 every day of the week and twice on Sundays. 82 is a damn good age, man. So rest in peace, Hank. You'll be placing bets in the sky now, my brother. That's what you'll be doing. I'm sure Hank got up there sometime yesterday and said, "All right, where's the betting window? Where's the gold sheet? You know, what's the equivalent of the gold sheet up here? You know, there's no doubt that Hank's already working on the numbers for tonight's games and trying to see what he's going to bet on. There's no doubt. So if they've got betting up there on baseball down here, he's right now at the window, wasting no time whatsoever. All right, I can tell you. In fact, he's probably telling people, look, I just came from Earth. I saw this and this and this. I'm telling you, you got to bet this. So he's already, giving insight to the folks up top. So you can bet that he is laying that bet in the big sky now at this point. So rest in peace, Hammer, and we miss you, brother. And it was an honor and a pleasure to work with you, man. So if any of you have any of your memories, you can share them too if you want. Hank Goldberg's left nut says, remember Hank early on the sidelines reporting back to Rick Weaver. Yep. Third down in a cab ride. I love Rick Weaver. George says, I miss Mad Dog Mandich. Yes, definitely. Chad is in. Adam Pinkster says, Hank set the standard for sports talk radio. If you called his show, you better know what you were talking about. Likewise, as a host, he was so prepared and so knowledgeable. Used to listen to Eddie K every night, 10 p.m. until the final West Coast score. Hank Goldberg was to sports radio as Edwin Pope was to sports print media. Exactly. Same thing. Jeff DeForest. Jeff, I saw Jeff at Hialeah Park a couple weeks ago. I know he's doing something. I don't know where the hell it's at or something. I know he was doing a show at a small station somewhere or something like that. I know he asked me about this podcasting and YouTube and all that. And I told him that's where you need to go. You got to get away from that radio shit. The radio's dead. Radio's on life support. So I don't know. But good dude, Jeff DeForest, by the way, really good dude. What's more American than a dude on crutches eating 63 hot dogs in 10 minutes? Oh, and choking out. Yes, I'm with you there. And Dougie Fresh, what you're talking. Listen, I'm not a fan whatsoever of the hot dog eating contest, the 4th of July, Nathan's hot dog. I think it's gross. Okay, seriously, I think it's freaking disgusting. It is. And I have no interest in watching it. Now, having said that, not that I was watching it, but I saw while I was preparing that Joey Chestnut in the middle of his hot dog eating contest, which he won, right? And it's his 15th title. But I want you to watch how some dude, some protester, some Darth Vader-like character, and Joey takes a moment in the middle of the competition to choke out and throw the dude to the side. And this is where I got to give Joey Chestnut some serious, I mean, you got to respect the fact that he can shove 63 hot dogs down his throat. I mean, that's disgusting. That's a talent in itself that I don't want to have, but it is gross, and it's an ability that most of us can't have, right? And he does it with water, too, which is just, like, gross. Anyway, here's Joey Chestnut in the middle of his competition yesterday. You gotta play it again. That's pretty good. All right, in the middle, guy, what are you doing? Whack! Throws him down, takes a break there. Everybody else is eating. There's like serious pressure on everybody else. And Joey Chestnut knows, like, I have this. Like, I can take this fool down and still beat every one of these idiots up here on the stage. Torn ACL, or what was it, Achilles or whatever he had, because he was up there on crutches. And the guy just, I got to give him credit. I got to give him credit. That's like Santori, Fantori. What's the guy's name from the weather? Cantori. Cantori. He was in the middle of a cast, and some guy got in the way. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but Jim Cantori like elbows and pushes the guy out, and it was awesome. It was awesome, and he didn't lose. Like, it was seamless. It didn't affect his stand-up or anything like that. It was absolutely classic. And Cantori's like, Cantori's kind of jacked, so he's in shape. So the shots he took at that guy felt it. I can tell you, he felt it for sure. He didn't lose. I mean, it just flowed with him. And I got to give Joey Chestnut a little credit there. I mean, I have no interest in watching that crap. But that moment right there, props to Joey. I like that. So you are correct, Doug. That is as American as it gets right there. In the middle of a hot dog competition, you slam some dude to the ground. RIP Hank and condolences to his family. Samuel Robina. Hank was a staple in South Florida. Hank talking with Secretariat writer right now. Yeah, probably. I remember Hank back in the old days of Channel 4, Tony Segreto, Ned Smith going over everything Dolphins. Yes, Ned Smith, good dude. Tony Segreto, good dude. Tony, hope you're enjoying that next cigar, my friend. RIP, Hammer and Hank, says Gus. Chris Johnson. Defo does a show about food and other things with Mike Mayo. Oh, he does. Okay. All right. Spaghetti dinner tonight at Calder, says Nelson. Did the Marlins have another team meeting before the Nationals? No, they just played the Nationals. They don't need to have team meetings for the Nationals. They're 12-1 against the Nationals. It's amazing. Hank had a bet on this happening at the hot dog contest. Probably. He probably had a wager, and the sister probably cashed in on it today. Steve Chapman, I see, was first in the house, and Jamie Zorria out there in San Jose. Thank you all out there. I see Lisa Rose is in Rochester. Rosendo says, may every sunrise bring you hope, and may every sunset bring you peace. Happy birthday to one of the greatest relief pitchers in baseball history, Goose Gossage. The Goose. So there you go. So, yes, appreciate all of you out there, man, as always. And as I can tell, a lot of you out there that are a little older, Hank affected your world too at the same time, man. It's sad to hear the news, man. But hey, look, the good thing is he's in a better place now, and hopefully he's giving them all the gambling information they can handle at this point in time. So that's the good thing about Hank. But again, nice job by David J. Neal and Dave Hyde. Excellent articles about Hank. Times are changing, right? We lose Neal, we lose Mandich, we lose Hank. You're talking about three absolute monsters, man. Absolute radio personality monsters. You know, it's wow, it's crazy. And it's been a while already now with Neal. And it's been a while already now also with Mandich, too, because time flies. You don't realize it. Hell, I speaking of time flies, so I put this this is a Journey shirt on that I have, right? And as I'm putting it on, as you put on your shirt, you can see the back of your shirt before you put it on, right? So you put it in between your arms. And I look at it, and the shirt says 2009. And I'm like, holy crap, this thing's 13 years old? What the hell, man? This is 13 years ago, that concert. You know, I grabbed shirts that I have there from the 80s and the 90s and in the early 2000s. And it's like, my God. I have one concert shirt from the 70s. Yeah. So that's so I have concert shirts from every decade from the 70s on. It's crazy. But time flies, man. Time flies. Manny Fernandez turned 76 yesterday. Wow. I can eat 100 empanadas. So you want an empanada contest. Okay. Big O, did you see the video of Carrie Underwood bringing out Axl Rose? She was amazing singing Sweet Child of Mine. Well, she's got a great voice, man. She's got a great voice. They were jamming with Carrie the last 2 days. And Guns N' Roses, after that now, just canceled their show in Glasgow. So just after the Carrie Underwood shows, somebody got ill, and so now they canceled their Glasgow show right now, right after that. So yeah, I saw the videos of them and Carrie Underwood, and then I read this morning where unfortunately they had to cancel the Glasgow show. They didn't say it was COVID; they just said illness. So not sure. It's just one of those things. Man, let me tell you, if you're traveling for a show, you are gambling nowadays. Big time. Because you're going to waste a lot of money for nothing at times. Because if you have to spend on the flight, on the hotel, the food and all that, and sure, you might get your concert ticket back, the money because they canceled the concert, but you're not going to get the plane ticket back and you're not going to get the hotel and all the expenses. You cannot travel for rock concerts right now. It's just, you can if you want, but you got to understand, man, first of all, you got to hope you can get there. Like tonight, I leave at 9:30. I'm praying that my flight is on time and ready. So far, I haven't had a delay yet. And maybe I'm hoping that it's a nighttime flight and it's not prime time. So maybe I get a break, but to go to go out to a concert nowadays, it's so risky. It's just not worth it. Wait till they come to your town, and then you hope you can see the concert when they come to your town. That's what you got to hope for, man. So, I'm hoping I can see Morrissey tomorrow at Caesar's Palace. I hope he doesn't get any kind of COVID or anything like that. Brian says, Big O, I have a Pearl Jam t-shirt from 93. Crazy that time flies and it still fits. Wow, that's the impressive part. See, my shirt from 1977 does not fit. Okay? Does not fit whatsoever. In fact, Sean, give me 30 seconds on the commercial here. Just give him 30 seconds. Let me see if I can get the shirt so I can show you a 1977 concert shirt. Go ahead, Sean. Give me 30 seconds there.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Red Recover can maximize your efforts by potentially improving cellular metabolism, blood circulation, and muscle recovery. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
All right. Yes. Got to use a little Red Recover. This is a 1970s concert shirt. Boston, Poco, Doobie Brothers. Now look at it. Look at the back of it. This was at the Miami Baseball Stadium. AC/DC canceled. So I would have been able to see Bon Scott in 77. And Poco was 45 minutes late to this concert. And because they were 45 minutes late, the crowd was pissed. They were booing them. So they came out and they were going to sing "In the Heart of the Night, in the Cool Summer Wind." You know that one? Anyway, so like I say, like you know that one, and like maybe there's 5 people that know that one. So right when he hit that first note of "In the Heart of the Night," a beer hit him right in the chest and exploded. So he leans into the mic and says, "F you," and they all walked off stage. Everybody in the baseball stadium went crazy and started going Doobies, Doobies, because they wanted the Doobie Brothers. Here you go. The Rock Super Bowl. How about that? This is the one where Randy Rhoads died the day before in Tampa in a plane crash. So we ended up getting Pat Travers and Bryan Adams added to this along with UFO. 1982. No, it doesn't fit. Those are concert shirts right there, baby. Let's see what else I can show. There's an old Iron Maiden Piece of Mind, 1983. It's classic. And no, I don't fit in it. And of course, can't live without my Southern Rock. Nice and torn. 1982. We take no prisoners, baby. So there you go. Those are a few of the concert shirts. I got a bunch. But it's nice to have some of the memories. They fly, man. They fly. Frame those, Big O. My favorite concert ever. It's so hard. It's so hard to pick just one concert because I can pick Unforgettable Fire for U2 at the Sportatorium. I can pick U2 and Oasis at the Oakland Coliseum. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind in Hollywood Sportatorium. The Monsters of Rock, 7 or something like that. Was it Metallica, Van Halen, Kingdom Come, Scorpions? It was a sick concert. There's so many. Santana, Z-Bop. I went to that concert in the Sunrise Musical Theater and he jammed for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So there's so many. I did not go to the B-52s, John Hart. So we were going to go. Quite honestly, after the shooting, my wife was, let's just stay home. We don't really need to go out. And so we stayed. So, yes. Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, saw Rush many times. I can say one of my favorite concerts was Exit Stage Left when we got tear gassed. That was a hell of a concert. So a lot of things. Damn, I was hoping 30 seconds of Sean got used to the 30 seconds for Squared Circle Digest promo. Sean's in the background today. Ron says, I love the show, Big O. It helps me more than you can know. That's very nice of you, man. Very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Anthony Chang, by the way, is set to join us in a couple of seconds here. And we'll talk a little Miami Heat action with him and a little basketball. By the way, anybody remember this? Anybody know this? This is one of my favorite underground bands, Stranger. They're from Tampa. Look how the shirt is dirty and everything. Like stains. You can't you can't take away those stains. You just can't. Here you go, a little Pyromania for you. 1983. There's a little more nostalgia for you all. Let's see. We got slackers this morning. Don't forget to hit the like. Yes, folks, come on. Let's go. Let's hit the like button. We got close to 200 people on the chat board. Let's hit that like button, man. Yes, Sid, I got Bruce Springsteen. I don't think I have a Bruce Springsteen shirt. I don't think I've ever bought a Bruce Springsteen shirt. I've seen Bruce Springsteen several times. And the first time I saw him was actually Born in the USA. It was 1985, I believe, or 84. Yeah, Orange Bowl, I want to say. No, I know it was the Orange Bowl, but I want to say 84, 85. When was that album, Born in the USA? Something like that. 84, 85. Look at Dougie Fresh with the little swamp woman. Wow, Dougie Fresh. That's impressive. Somebody that knows at least one song from Stranger. She got a 2-foot tongue. Damn. Nice job by you. I like it. Yeah, you surprised me, Dougie Fresh. A little swamp woman. Yeah. Keno Smith says, I'm listening from Nassau. Well, thank you, Keno. I appreciate you. Did you ever see Triumph, Big O? One of the most underrated bands out of Canada. I love freaking Triumph. Yes. I saw Triumph for the, it wasn't Allied Forces. It was the one right after. God, I forgot the name of that one. But yes. Yes, I saw Triumph and Rick Emmett and the boys. And then I saw him one more time after that. I've seen him twice, and that's it. I haven't seen them in a long, long, long time. And you never will now that they're all like mad at each other and stuff like that. Let's see. 3D was by Stranger, right? 3D. I don't remember a song called 3D. I don't remember that. That's right, C. Dola. The swamp woman's got a 2-foot tongue. All right, let's go talk a little basketball with the man, the myth, the legend that is Anthony Chang. Let's get ready, baby. It's locked and loaded. Our liquor split, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
Let's tap into the latest with the Miami Heat and our liquor split app, Miami Heat Reports, with insider Anthony Chang. Liquor Split is Miami's own online liquor store. Download, then tap the app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Here's Anthony Chang.
I'm going to get to you in a second, but Ron is asking on the chat board, why did you get tear gassed? And I throw stuff like that out, and I keep thinking I'm back in the day where everybody knew what happened. So we were in line to see Rush at the Hollywood Sportatorium. And if you ever went to the Hollywood Sportatorium, there was a fence that was in the front on the entrance. Well, about 100 guys bum rushed that fence and jumped it. So the cops started tear gassing to try to get everybody from stopping and bum rushing the fence because the concert was sold out. Those of us that are legal, paid for our tickets, we ended up smelling tear gas along the way.
Wow.
Had no choice. So, yes, that was my experience with tear gas at a concert. Yes. There you go. Anthony, you ever been to a concert where they tear gassed you?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. All right. You haven't lived then, bro.
I haven't lived.
What's wrong with you?
I haven't actually gone to a concert because that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, exactly. You see, you gotta, when you get tear gas, then you know you have lived life overall. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, welcome back, my brother. As always, hope you had a great July 4th.
Thank you.
The Heat have had no explosions whatsoever in their world right now. We are waiting for the big explosion to happen named Kevin Durant. So walk us through, what have you heard the last couple of days, the options that are out there. You know, I told Ira that I think the only way they will get a jump on others is if they move Bam somewhere and take Ben Simmons in along with Durant, because not a lot of teams are going to say, we'll take Durant and Ben Simmons. But since the Heat are Mr. We can get every reclamation project in the world and redo it, I almost feel like that's the caveat. That's the thing that they need. So Brooklyn says, wow, we will start really fresh. You know what I mean? Plus, trading Bam will get you more ammo to then trade to them. You know what I'm saying? So walk me through all of this. What are you hearing? And how in the hell can this possibly happen?
Yeah, things have been really quiet. As you know, they're really not even a lot has leaked. I mean, you haven't really seen much come out.
The Heat? Nothing leak?
Well, it's not even the Heat, but even just Brooklyn, right? I mean, even Brooklyn, like, side, there just hasn't been much out there. The Heat, it's to be expected, right? But usually it leaks from somebody else, some other team. It's been really quiet.
You picked the worst team to be a beat writer for.
It's definitely difficult. They make our jobs tough.
God,
they make our jobs tough. Yeah,
it's the worst. I don't know if there's a worse team in all of pro sports. Forget about the NBA.
Right.
In pro sports, I don't know if there's a harder team to break the code than the Miami Heat, dude.
No,
seriously.
It's true. God. But it has been quiet, and it's kind of strange, right? I mean, since the first day of free agency, they haven't done anything, at least on the outside, right? They signed, they got commitments from Victor and Dwayne to return, Dwayne Dedman. They lost PJ, and ever since then, there hasn't been any free agent movement.
Now walk me through this. Yeah. Those two are commitments. They haven't literally signed, correct?
They can't sign until tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon.
But will they sign them, or will they tell them, hey, you're committed, we got you? But is there a pecking order? In other words, is it better for them to wait, or can they make them wait to sign until a Durant deal happens, or that doesn't matter whatsoever? They can sign and it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
Walk us through
I mean, I guess they could make them wait, but I don't see why it would matter, because again, they don't have cap space, so they're operating over the cap. It's not like they're trying to use cap space first and then sign them, while they're over the cap using the bird rights. They're already over the cap, so I would expect that they'll sign tomorrow after noon when the moratorium lifts. But as of now, they are not signed. They're just commitments. Nobody's signed. Well, I guess first round picks can sign, but free agents, they're not allowed to sign until tomorrow. Yes, I mean, but the market's cleaning, the market's thinning out. I mean, they obviously have a whole starting power forward, right? After PJ left. Caleb is still a restricted free agent. TJ Warren just signed. I'm looking at the free agent options and at the forward spot.
They were going to break. TJ Warren wasn't coming here to play power forward, and he's not coming. Jimmy Butler's going to say, so wait a minute, I lost PJ and you're going to bring TJ? Get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not the best trade-off for Jimmy after with their history. But Paul Millsap, Blake Griffin, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh God!
And then you get to Markieff and Caleb Martin, pretty much as
the
free agency
Geritol boys are available in free agency.
Right.
I mean,
but
give me a break, dude. Metamucil selections out there. Wow. Holy
but
shit.
I'll pose this question to you: if you really, the Heat seemingly think they have a real shot at Durant, right? That's why everything is put on hold. If you think you have a shot at Durant, is that a risk that they should be taking of watching guys like that come off the board? But you have a chance at an all-time great, and I get it. I totally understand. It might not. They might be left with again Caleb Martin and I don't know. I'm just hypothetically Blake Griffin, let's say. Their roster is not as good as last year, but I think if Kevin Durant's available and you really think you have a shot at him, you got to take that chance. So I understand what they're doing.
Well, Anthony, the Heat have put themselves in this position, unfortunately, because they're a really good team, but they have to get great.
Right.
And so you can, if you do the same thing you did last year, that normally you would have a parade in Sacramento and in Charlotte and in Orlando and
almost every market. Yeah.
Love for you to get to the 7th game of the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? That's something that would be awesome. But in this case, sucks. But if you're not better, you failed in the offseason. And it sounds so unfair and so ridiculous, but those names that you talked about aren't going to get you better. The only thing that gets you better is if you get a Durant, if you get a Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
And Donovan looks like that's done. It looks like they're going to build around him there. I had Tony Jones on Saturday, and Ira still thinks there's a shot. I disagree with Ira on this one. I agree with Tony. Tony covers the Jazz. You know Tony. And Tony feels they're keeping Donovan. They're going to build around him. And I think the way things are going, it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do. And they must have told him anyways, because if he's so quiet right now throughout all of this, he must know exactly what they were doing, Gobert and all. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that option's done. So if you're the Heat, Anthony, you have to make this Durant move. If you can't make this Durant move, every other move is basically not good enough to get you to great.
Yeah, and I guess the question too that I'll ask you, Big O. I guess since I'm asking you more questions than you're asking me, I'm sorry, but if they don't get Kevin Durant, there's probably better free options in the trade market for replacing PJ. Harrison Barnes, an expiring contract at forward. John Collins is on the trade
Crowder,
block,
right?
Still
available.
Jay Crowder. There are guys that you could trade for to replace PJ that might get you back to where you were last year. But are you willing to trade one of your first-round picks and Duncan's salary? Which Duncan's salary, I know people are eager to get it off the books. It's important in a trade because you need that number to match money with a guy who makes $40 million on a max contract. Are you willing to give away those trade assets to make a move for Harrison Barnes? Or is the Heat's best play to wait for the next superstar that will become available, and then you still have that, on the books?
Who's the next one? That's
we didn't know Kevin Durant. We didn't know Kevin Durant was going to be available, right? A couple weeks ago. I mean, it's the NBA. There are always guys who, I
know, but you can't hold out and wait for the next one when you don't even know when the next one's coming.
It's tough. It's a tough call.
And by the way, we are talking about the team that lives in the moment. They don't do that shit. So they're going to try to be what's best now. And you're right. Unfortunately, if they can't get Durant, they're going to have to go to a secondary move. And the secondary move is just hopes to get you back to where you were.
Sure.
Because the sad part is everybody else in the East got better. Boston got better. So you got other teams that got better throughout it. And that's your problem now. And if the Suns end up getting, Durant, then they got better too. And then that creates another problem for your ass. You know what I mean? And so now it just becomes a harder road for you to win that title if you don't get Durant. And if you're Riley, here's the worst part about it, Anthony. Your time is ticking, dude. You have old players the window closes, and this coming season is the 4th year of Jimmy Butler. How many more are you going to get out of that body? You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to wait for the 5th year to add that whale, his body may not be available to you in that 5th year, because it's going to happen. Father Time's going to catch up, Anthony, at one point to Jimmy, and he's not going to be able to be the same player, the same force he is around the rim, and he won't have the same kind of power, and maybe his grips on the ball won't be the same anymore, because he's just going to take wear and tear. And that's the risk. If you're Riley, you're running out of time. You're running out of time for this team, because at one point or another, you're going to have to turn them over again.
Yeah, no, it's not easy. And I'm really interested, obviously, once this all kind of gets settled and we know where Kevin Durant's going, if it's not the Heat, what is their backup plan, right? Are they going to be willing to deal away assets that they could use later on for the next star who's available, but they want to make sure that they have the best team possible right now, and they deal away some of those assets? Because you know that if Donovan Mitchell requests a trade in 3 months in November, because the Jazz start 1-12, and the Heat don't have that extra first-round pick to get a deal done because they traded it for Harrison Barnes, that's going to be a conversation that Heat fans are going to be, criticizing the organization for. So it's, I'm sure the team knows, the front office kind of has a feel for if Donovan Mitchell really will become available at some point. I think teams are trying to figure that out. But it's a decision they're going to have to make once Kevin Durant is moved, if it's not the Heat.
With you there. By the way, Liquor Split, download the app, iOS or Android. It is Miami's own liquor store, $2.99 flat fee for the delivery, no surprise charges, and $1 goes to helping homelessness in Miami. So don't drink and drive. If you need a little extra beer, wine, and keep that party going, keep the get-together going, keep that meeting going, don't get behind the wheel for $2.99 a delivery fee. It's ridiculous. Get Liquor Split. Download the app, iOS or Android. All right. We see Levine signing. We see Bradley Beal staying in Loserville. It looks like they're going to build around Donovan. Durant is the guy that we're waiting for. They're not really going to trade for Kyrie, because that's a rental till he goes to the Lakers. And that's going to be a really hard move for Brooklyn to trade a guy with that salary and to get anything of value in return. That's going to be near impossible, I think, because everybody knows they're renting him. So what other whale is there? What other name is there out there? Let's just say you fail on Durant. Is there another name out there? I'm not talking about the Harrison Barnes and the PJ Tucker replacements. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, is there another star out there that we have not thought about?
This offseason, I don't see it. Right. Okay. I think, but I mean, there's always Damian Lillard. His name is always going to be there, because what is Portland going to do? They're rebuilding. They got Jeremy Grant. I know Damian Lillard is older,
Lowry is not good enough to play off the ball. And so then now you're going to bring Damian Lillard to play off the ball when he's still the better point guard right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of insulting. It's
tough.
I don't think you do that. You can't. If Lowry could play off the ball and he could shoot consistently and score, then I could tell you, I would go with, I could try that trade. But because of that, I can't try that trade, unfortunately, because I there's no way Lillard will want to be put in that kind of a position when he's been the floor general, and you're going to tell him, well, wait a minute, you're not better than this guy, but you're not going to start. Right. No, you are better than this guy. You should start over him and run the team. That's where I don't think the Lillard one works.
It might have to be a deal that Kyle is part of. Just like the Kevin Durant deal, where to make the money work, you might need Kyle's salary. Okay. I mean, honestly, that's all I can think of, other than the list you just gave. Damian Lillard is the other star that maybe, if things don't go well in Portland this season, maybe he becomes available. But then again, it's the NBA. There's always this unexpected guy that you don't see coming that says, I'm not happy here. I want to be moved. I could not have told you a year ago that Kevin Durant was going to say, I want to leave Brooklyn after signing a 4-year extension right, with the team.
Just, man, you're watching Atlanta get better. You're watching Boston get better. You're watching Philly get better. That these are things that are, and I still don't think that Atlanta's at the point where they can beat Miami, but they're pretty damn good now. If they keep Collins, now if they move Collins, and that's another guy we haven't talked about, that's another guy that I would like to get for Miami is John Collins.
Yeah, I mean, he would make sense, especially obviously if you strike out on Kevin Durant and you need a power forward.
Right.
He's young. He's talented. He can shoot, so he fits next to Bam. But that's it. I mean, that's kind of going to be your missing piece then, because you're going to have to trade away assets to get John Collins. You're going to have to trade a pick or two. You're going to have to trade away, big salary that you would need for a bigger trade. So that's the Heat saying, we're going to go with this core plus John Collins, and we think it's enough. So that again, that's a decision. It's a lot easier to make that decision when it's Kevin Durant compared to when it's John Collins. I don't know if John Collins puts them over the top. If he feels a need, he's good.
Right. No, I know.
Need, but I don't know if he makes them a championship lock.
That may be a stretch. You're right about that. All right, what are you working on in the Miami Herald, my man?
Yeah, obviously summer league coverage. We're waiting on Kevin Durant and the whole Caleb Martin situation to be resolved. But until then, covering summer league very closely. I'll be going to Vegas tomorrow. Vegas Summer League starts on Saturday. And today we have one final Summer League game between the Heat and the Warriors from San Francisco before things move over to Vegas.
But they're 0-2 right now, right?
0-2, yeah.
The season's over, bro. I mean, that's it.
Why blow it up? Blow it up.
Yeah, blow the whole thing up, bro. They're 0-2, man. Jesus. But the good thing is we get
Omer back.
Gert and Garrett over in Vegas.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah. Omer should help a lot. He's going to be the Summer League MVP. We'll see just how valuable he is when he steps into that center spot. First game in Vegas, and how much better he makes the team.
I'm headed to Vegas tonight.
Enjoy. I'm going over there tomorrow morning, so I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm going to see Morrissey tomorrow at Caesars. Nice. So I wanted to get there a day early so I can enjoy a little concert action. So there you go. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Chang. And, of course, subscribe to the Herald, please, and support my man and all the other great writers a part of the Miami Herald. Anthony, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll catch up later in the week.
Definitely. Thanks, so. Thank you. See you in Vegas.
You got it. See you in Vegas. There you go. Anthony Chang. He'll be out in Vegas, and so will we. That is your Liquor Split Miami Heat and NBA report.
You're now tapped into the latest with the Miami Heat. This has been the Miami Heat Liquor Split Report with insider Anthony Chang. Download the Liquor Split app and enjoy your favorite drinks at wholesale prices. Delivered right to your door in minutes with a flat fee of $2.99. VIP lifestyle without the VIP prices. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Somebody's asking me about Russell Westbrook. Oh, God, who the hell would want Russell Westbrook? I mean, De'Aaron Fox, if they're willing to get rid of him, hell yeah, but I don't know if they're willing to get rid of him. That's a young stud, bro. I'd love Fox here on this team. Yeah, Pat Riley's getting old. No, I know. Yeah, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, he's old and done. Anyone watch the USFL Championship? I did not, Kevin. I thought I would watch more of it this year because I love football, and I usually watch the off-season leagues. I barely watched it. And I did not watch the Birmingham Stallions beat the Philadelphia Stars 33-30. No. I know what happened. I heard about it, read it, but did not watch 1 second of it at all, my friend. I thought I would watch more, and I just didn't. The problem with Durant is that any trade for him will cannibalize the team he goes to. He's 34. He can't carry a team for 82 games plus playoffs. A trade for KD turns his new team into the Nets. Yeah, that's what you can't do. You're correct. You're right about that. You have to make the trade where you can still you want to win a championship. But if you have to gut it and you end up like Melo going to the Knicks, and then all the players that went to Denver made the Nuggets a better team than the Knicks. Yes, I know what you're saying. I get it. Makes zero sense to do that. And I think that's the fine line you have to walk. And you're right. He's no longer that guy that you're going to ride the entire time. He's going to need another guy. And listen, it's never just one guy. He needs, in the NBA, you need 2 or 3 guys. That you got to have 2 or 3 stars on your team in order to get over the top. You can get away with 2, but then the rest of the guys have to be really good in that starting lineup. If you have 3 stars, that's obviously ideal. But look at Miami. They had 3 stars, but you still had Ray Allen, who's a Hall of Famer and your 4th star, technically, and Battier. And you had other guys that could really help out at times. So it's really important to have role players that are important, that can do all the little things for you. Mike No-Go Zone says, no desire to get tear gassed or pepper sprayed. Well, I didn't get pepper sprayed, but we did get the tear gas. It's not my fault. I had my ticket, bro. I have my legal ticket. So you would never catch me jumping the fence at the Hollywood Sportatorium. Do you know why? Back in those days? I'll tell you why. You think I'm afraid of the cops or getting arrested? No. No. I was afraid of my father. Okay? That's why you don't do things. But, I know nowadays that doesn't exist anymore, but that was the difference there. So, yeah. You would never catch me try to jump a fence and get tear gassed and get arrested or whatever. And, oh, my God. The fear I would have of going home. Actually, not going home because he would have to pick me up at some jail cell somewhere, right? Yeah, no, that's not going to be fun. I think I told you guys a story once. My dad was old school as it gets, okay? We go fishing all the time. I was a kid. I was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. When you're going to teach me how to swim? Right now. Boom, he pushed me right off the boat in the middle of the ocean. Now, my dad can swim like a fish. So he's like looking at me and, and I learned how to swim. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, bro. That's old school, okay? I got a ticket once, and my dad goes to me, go pay that ticket. You have a job, go pay that ticket. You're going to get a bench warrant if you don't pay that ticket. Guess what the teenager did? He didn't pay the ticket. Guess what happened? I got a bench warrant. Guess what happened? I had a busted taillight in my 280ZX going through Medley, and a Medley cop stops me for the busted taillight. Hey, did you know your taillight was out? No. Let me have your license registration. All right, sure. I'm getting a ticket for a busted light, big deal, whatever. Oh, it seems like you have a bench warrant for your, huh? You call dad? Dad, I got arrested. What happened? Well, they pulled me over. I had a taillight out. So why did they arrest you? Oh, I had the bench warrant. Oh, you didn't pay that ticket I told you. Yeah, no, Dad, I'm sorry. I did not pay. Okay, great. I'll see you in the morning. Huh? You're not going to pick me up now? Nah, you need to learn your lesson. I'll see you in the morning. You kiddies nowadays, you don't know shit, bro. That's why your asses are soft. Okay? Because they didn't raise you tough. That's why. They didn't teach your ass lessons. Kids nowadays, you do that to them. Oh, no, we'll see you later on. Huh? That kid will come out of that jail and never talk to you again. These millennials and these Generation Zs, they do some of that shit to them. Boy, they'll never talk to their parents like for 40 years. They'll try to get them arrested and all kinds of things. GP Trap says, my dad the same way. Of course, dude. We grew up differently. We grew up a whole different way. We had an intimidation factor, and it wasn't the authorities. The authorities weren't jack shit to us. The authority was at home, waiting to kick your ass. That was the authority. That's what you feared, bro. Big Dog Kane, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And Sean Campbell, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Giving us some love on the Cash App. Very nice of you, Sean. Thank you, my friend. So appreciate all of you out there. If you want to get in, you can also send a donation at Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just got blessed right now. Yeah, baby. My wife just brought me the medicine. Yeah. Little honey and lime. So it keeps it going, baby. So it keeps it going. Red Recover keeps it going too, by the way. It promotes faster muscle recovery following your workouts. It expedites healing time from sprains and strains. This is why pros, amateurs, and recreational athletes use Red Recover. By the way, your kids can use Red Recover. During the summer, you know, they're running around all over the place, sprains and strains. You want to heal them naturally. You don't want any drugs or anything like that. And when you talk about Red Recover, it is ideal for anybody suffering from chronic pain, such as arthritis, neck, lower back discomfort. Only 15 minutes daily will bring you tremendous relief. You'll feel better without using any medication. Red Recover is 100% natural and no side effects. We can get you 10% off. All you got to do is go to redrecover.com and use the code BIG OW. And listen, you got some shoulder pain, you got neck pain, you got back pain, you got knee pain, elbows, ankles, you name it. Red Recover has a wrap for it, folks. Check it out. Go to redrecover.com. There's all kinds of blogs, videos explaining it. Even Hayden Hurst, an NFL player, uses Red Recover. This is great just for workouts. Even for people like Sean, who's got bone on his knee, he uses it to alleviate the pain because he'll be in pain his whole life. The question is, can you minimize it a little bit? Can you give it some treatment? Can you ease up on it? And that's what you're there to do at times. And for those of us that are working out and you have your normal soreness, Red Recover will help you deal with that soreness. Go to redrecover.com. It's great for the pets. They have the wraps for the back hips, the front shoulders, all in 10, 15 minutes. And that'll also help with your dog recovery, healing, and aging, which Lord knows we all need it. Redrecover.com, Instagram, red.recover. Use our discount code BIG OW. Hour number 2 is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red, an infrared light, has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Right. Thank you all out there for always tuning in and locking it in. Don't forget, please smash the hell out of that like button. You're watching. We got over 200 people on the chat board. Let's go, man. Let's get those like buttons, the like button over 200. Please don't forget to subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. We really need to get that one over 1,000. So subscribe. We're approaching 13,000 here. So see if we can get 1,000 of you to, hit that one over there, because it's going to help us and give us two things out there to follow up. Somebody's asking me, did you ever own any clackers? Has there ever been a more dangerous toy for kids ever made? A clacker? What is that? I've never heard of a clacker. What is a clacker? I have no idea what a clacker is. Why is it dangerous, by the way? Why is a clacker dangerous? Talk to me. I don't know. What's so dangerous? It's annoying, but I don't know. White Hot, presented by La Bamba check cashing. Does La Bamba check cashing even exist anymore? Huh? Does La Bamba check cashing exist? Does anybody know? Because that's the sponsor that was part of this. That was on here. It says White Hot NBA Finale 2006, presented by La Bamba. So this is the 06 championship clacker. So there you go. I have the one with that first one against the Bulls somewhere around there. They're all over the place. Anyway, Bleacher Report just reported that the Nets won an all-star caliber player and several first-round picks for Durant. That's why, Tony, I still think that and they can't get him, unfortunately, is Bam. That's kind of part of the deal. The problem is, because of Simmons, you have to take Simmons in. You can't give him Bam. You have to send Bam to a third team, and then whatever you collect for Bam, then you send it to them. But that's the problem. They won't be able to give them an all-star. The Rudy Gobert thing, God. Those 5 first-rounders that are tied to it, it's like, like I said, 4 of them and then a swap or something like that. It's brutal. It sucks. And that the Nets saw that and go, wait a minute, that's Rudy Gobert. See, here's the thing, and somebody mentioned it, which I think you're a very astute fan, whoever said it. He's 34. You have to be very careful on how much you give Durant, because if you gut your team, don't expect him to be the guy that carry the entire team. That's not going to happen. He couldn't do that in Brooklyn. He needed other stars to help out. The other stars didn't show up, and he was screwed. So Miami needs that other star to make sure you got to have the guys around him. So you got to make sure you don't gut your team too badly, because then you're just not good enough to compete. The idea is to get to a championship. That's the idea. It's a man, the Heat are in a really tough position. Really tough position. And they're old. So it puts them in an odd spot. For the record, I'm a grown man with 2 kids and I'm still scared of my mom. Yeah. I have no problem with that. That's understandable. Big O show to start the morning, says John Padilla. Thank you, John. That's very nice of you. The glass balls on the strings that you smack together to make noise. Oh, you're talking about those. Oh, yeah, those things were dangerous. And I sucked at it. Holy shit, did I suck at that. The way that they clack one way and the other way. And I could never do that. All those people could do all that. I can never do that. I sucked at that clacking thing. I'm good at this one. Doug, this is the clacking I can do. This one's easy. That one with the balls, and then you had to make them connect on each side or the... Oh, no. I was terrible at that. Oh, my God, I sucked. Call me dumb, but what other insiders are on today? Well, Ron, we will have Manny Navarro at 11:30, Omar Kelly at 12:15, and George Richards at 1 o'clock. I hope that is satisfactory to your liking, sir. Who is more annoying, the Tua haters or the clacker? I'll go Tua haters. Just bought 10 in ETH and 10 in Bitcoin. Like $10 in Bitcoin, 10,000. Either whatever you did right buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Whoo, doggy. Yeah, baby. Keep buying it. That's what I'm doing. Frankie's asking me about that goal by Campana last night. Yes, sir. Campana got the goal in the 89th minute to tie the game last night against Dallas. Last couple of games, they've needed some last second, and he came off the bench too. So they've needed some last second heroics to either win or tie last night, and they were going to lose. So it was nice to get Campana on the goal there. Ethereum is a great investment. It's an amazing investment. And so is Bitcoin. Both are amazing. I don't know where that pump came yesterday. And I think it came back down now today. It was kind of weird. I said that yesterday when the pump was going on. There's no reason for anything to pump for months right now. We should be in an awesome buying zone for another 6 to 9 months. I think by 2023 at some point. Don't know when in 2023, but it'll start to take off again once we get all supply chain issues solved and everything else. Hopefully by next year, we'll start getting everything on track again. Big O, my wife teases me to this day about how nervous I was the day I told my mom my wife was pregnant. I was married, but she put the fear of God in me as a kid not to have kids as a teen. Yeah, exactly. Got to be smart, bro. I mean, back in the day, everybody's fighting about, abortions and the legality of it and whether it should happen or shouldn't happen or the amount of time or whatever, And for me, I don't mind the way DeSantis has it in this state. 15 weeks, I think, is more than fair. This is the way I grew up. You screwed up and you got a woman pregnant or a girl pregnant. Your parents were going to tell you, well, it's your responsibility now. You got to marry her and you better take care of that kid. That just doesn't happen nowadays. Like your parents rode your ass. Like you knew you couldn't see what that gentleman was saying back in the day. They scared the shit out of you by telling you, hey, if you get her pregnant, I'm not going to allow you to dance around it. No, you are going to stand up to your responsibilities, and you're going to get married, and you're going to take care of that kid. That's how old school parents were. That shit don't happen nowadays. Nowadays, they get you pregnant, and they're going to disappear, and it's going to be a disaster. Okay? But back in the day, the abortion stuff was like, you knew you had 3 months, right? That's how we grew up with. Like you had to make a decision in 3 months. And if you're going to have the kid, boy, you were going to take care of that kid. Or you were going to hear it from your parents. I'm talking about the guy's side of it. That's just different times, man. Different world nowadays. The Heat should build on players we can build on. De'Aaron Fox, John Collins, Schroeder are players we should try to obtain. Rosendo, no, Fox is not available from what I've heard. Schroeder is not, he's been around. He's not a guy that John Collins, I love, and I love Fox. I'm with you on Collins might be available, but Fox is not. Nobody has said that DeAndre Fox is available. So if he is, I'm with you, but I haven't heard that he's available. So we can't say, oh, the Heat failed to get Fox. We don't even know if he's available. Big O, in your opinion, what are the top 5 best rock song intros from any decade, 70s, 80s, 90s? Wow, man, that's a lot to think about, my brother. Intros. Wow. I would have to, We Will Rock You will always be one of the great intros of all time. Obviously. I don't know, man. That's something I got to think about. That's a creative question, by the way. I like it. Oh, any prediction on which coin will hit $50 first? Chainlink or Cardano? Chainlink, of course. Cardano's in the cents. Chainlink's still in the dollars. I love Chainlink. Oh my God, I love Chainlink. I love Cardano. I got a shit ton of Cardano, and I am continuing now where Chainlink is at. I am just gobbling it up like freaking Pac-Man. So I think Chainlink's going to end up in a couple $100 when it's all said and done. But that's just me. They're the oracle of the blockchain. Everybody's got to use Chainlink, dude. In order for you to transfer everything from the web to the blockchain and Web3 and all that, they're going to use Chainlink. So, to me, Chainlink is one of the most important companies in the blockchain. Just like Polkadot. I think because they're layer 0, not layer 1 or 2, and because they are in interoperability where they're going to be connecting all of these chains, I think Polkadot is one of those other ones that it just becomes incredibly important to the entire ecosystem that's coming, that is just going to take over the world. It's what you're going to be using. It's what I'm going to be using. It's what businesses are going to be using. Everybody, musicians, real estate, medicine, everything will be on the blockchain. And Chainlink, to me, is one of the most important companies that has to do with the blockchain. So I am an enormous Chainlink guy. I love Cardano. I think ADA is a monster in the making. And I don't stop buying ADA. That's all I can tell you. I keep stacking ADA and stacking ADA and stacking ADA and stacking ADA and stacking ADA. Are you kidding me? Love it. Big O, what are your thoughts on the extra inning rule where the last out of the 9th starts at 10th in the second base? I don't mind. It's the way baseball is. It's so long nowadays. I kind of get it, and immediately it creates drama right from the get-go. So it's cool. I get it. I understand. I'm old school, and I don't really have a problem with the game the way it was played, and I know it's slow. And I know it takes some time and all that, but that's the greatness of baseball, that you can sit there and you can actually talk with people and bond. And in between pitches, in between innings, there's a lot of time to be able to talk and bond. Whereas in basketball and football and all that, it's quick pace, everything constantly. Hockey doesn't stop. There's a timeout here, timeout there, but it is constant movement. And so baseball is a great sport to enjoy. It's a great thinking man sport, and it's a fantastic sport to bond with friends and family members. But I understand today's microwave society, and people don't have patience. And so we've got to have a pitch clock, and we've got to have, these funky extra inning rules and everything else, because we've got to speed up the game because people don't have patience anymore. And I understand that. I completely understand it. What can I tell you? By the way, Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines is celebrating their 14th anniversary at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And right now, the 2023 Integra is $369 a month. Check out all the lease features out there. The technology package of the 2022 TLX, $479 a month. And we've got a fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles, folks. And we've got financing as low as 0.99% on the TLX, the ILX, the MDX, the RDX. Go and check them out there at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Yes, sir. What else do we have here? Hurricanes. They get Francis Mauga, 5-star Hawaiian kid out of Bradenton Academy, IMG. And they beat Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, and USC for them. And you're starting, it's not you're starting, but you're seeing a lot of 4 and now 5-star guys that are committing to the Canes. And what's next to them is that they're beating Alabama, and they're beating Georgia, and they're beating all kinds of teams that you weren't competing with in the first place for some of those guys. Now you're not only competing for some of those guys, you're now winning the recruiting process for a lot of these players. Look, I don't want to get too crazy about what's gone on the last month, because there's been a lot of great commitments by 4 and 5-star kids. I know these 4 and 5-star kids a year from now could decommit. 2 years from now, they could go into the transfer window because they were not happy their first year here with the Miami Hurricanes. So I understand that, at least I do. I don't know how many of you out there, because I do, like a buddy of mine gets all crazy about recruiting. And I'm like, yo, relax. Just because they committed doesn't mean you really have them. And so, but here's the thing that I'm counting on, where I'm hoping you're not going to lose too many of these kids. You're going to lose some because they're kids, man. They're kids. And if you have kids, they change their minds quickly. So what I'm counting on is that Mario, the communicator that he is, the guy that knows how to build relationships with people, that he's going to build strong relationships with all of these kids too. So they know where they stand, even in the bad times, even when maybe they're not starting. And maybe he can keep them focused and keep them in there and not giving up on themselves, or taking the easy way out, saying, I'll quit. I'll go somewhere where they'll give me a starting spot. And so I'm hoping that because of Mario, because of his people skills, that he will be able to salvage some of these young men, because it is exciting, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday, right? It was yesterday, the day, or on Saturday, right? I think it was Saturday, yes, that we were talking about Riley Williams, that he picked Miami over Alabama and Ohio State. They ended up getting the Corbin kid to play here. So, all of these kind of things that they've been able to do. What is it? Jaden Rashada, Nathaniel Joseph, Robert Stafford, all these 4-star guys, the QB, the wide receiver, the CB, all these guys that they got to commit. It's great that they got them to commit. It's great pub. The PR is awesome when you're beating Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson and all these kind of schools for the same kind of players. It's beautiful. But you got to keep them. And that's when we can really get excited, when they're sophomores or juniors and we're actually watching them play on the field. Because it's great to get them to commit, but can you keep them? But I'm hoping that Mario is the difference maker in that sense, where you're not going to get, put it this way. I'm hoping that with Mario Cristobal, the guys that end up transferring are the guys you really don't need. What I'd hate to see is people transferring that you need, players that you need in order to win, players that go somewhere else to become difference makers and leaders for those programs. Those are the ones that you can't miss out on. So Mario's got to make sure that he keeps a strong relationships with some of these kids that he knows he's going to need down the line to become a winning coach here at the University of Miami. But man, it is I'd rather see the news that 3- and 4-star guys are committing left and right to Miami than hearing about 2- and 3-star guys and that you're beating Navy for this guy. I mean, that kind of stuff is just unacceptable. Kenneth Cleveland, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says Big O, Kenneth Cleveland is live from the Boom Boom Room. Big O, my father is a retired colonel in the Marine Corps. Talk about a hard ass. Made me a better man of me. So he's so tough. He wants security for the Boom Boom Room. I like it. We got Hallie in there and the ladies. We got to and Paige is in there. Isn't Paige Sporanic in there also in the Boom Boom Room? I think so. I'm pretty sure of that. Paige Sporanic, by the way, was in a very 4th of July type of mood yesterday. Yep. So she wanted to share her love for the red, white, and blue and hot dogs. So
happy 4th of July, everyone. So Mom shared how many hot dogs I can eat in 10 minutes. And the thought of that makes me want to gag. So instead, I'm going to show you the techniques that I picked up from the best hot dog eaters in the world. The traditional. Next up, we have the raw dog. This one is effective but disgusting. We have the Dunkaroo. And to up the ante, we have the 2 dogs, 1 cup. Let's mix it up again. Don't like this way? Let's do the Sidewinder. I think I'm going to leave this up to professionals, but happy 4th, everyone. Enjoy your dogs.
Enjoy your dogs. We got to thank, Paige, Paige Sporanic is the gift that keeps on giving constantly. She makes golf, worth watching. And again, she was ready to be in her 4th of July wears. See, happy 4th of July from Paige Sporanic. If that's not as American and apple pie as it gets, I have no idea what is. But I want to thank Paige Sporanic for, being just a great American. Happy 4th, Paige. And if you're not following Paige, what is wrong with you? That's what I got to say. What is wrong with you if you're not watching Paige and following her? Yeah, that's as all-American as it gets right there with Paige Sporanic. All right, Nature B is for me. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. Tell you, it gives you great energy. If you're going to be around Paige Brannick, you're going to need a lot of energy. No 3 o'clock fade, no 4 o'clock fade. None of that's going to happen with Nature B, folks. That's what it's all about. Stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair. Even old people like me will get fuller hair. It's a beautiful thing. Many other benefits. So that's why I'm telling you, I've been talking about Nature B for 20 years now, and they've got a great special going on right now. Listen to this. Buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free, and the shipping is free. Go to natureb.com so you can get your 90-day supply by only paying for 60 days. And check it out. You buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free, and the shipping is free. Go to natureb.com. Hey, use that code BIG OW and take advantage, baby, of natureb.com. All right, let's talk a little Canes. Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. That is next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Righty, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Manny Navarro. All right, Manny, how did you spend your 4th of July?
In front of the computer,
Oh, so you were also watching Paige Brannick and her hot dogs, right? That's what you're watching.
That's what I was doing.
Golf? A little golf?
Yeah, a little golf. Yeah. No, let me tell you, that's been entertaining. But no, I was covering recruiting, man, because Mario Cristobal doesn't stop recruiting people, man. This is he's nonstop.
Can he recruit Paige Brannick is the question.
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could figure out a way to get her to sign with the U.
Yeah, does she have any eligibility left to come back to the U is the question. Just look at that. The woman's done.
She looks like she does.
Dogs. Yeah, I mean, you gotta, yeah, you know, that's an all-American video right there if I've ever seen one. That is pure talent right there from Paige Brannick. I mean, really, if that doesn't inspire you to watch women's golf, nothing will.
Nothing will get you out there. Yep.
No, yeah, definitely. You just want to. I wonder how the gallery is following Paige around. Is it just dudes like dropping phones from like all over the place or something? What is going on in a Paige Brannick type of galley? You know what I'm saying? That's got to be very interesting. Like a ton of horny dudes are just walking all over. Like there's like one woman and like 4,000 guys probably following Paige around. That's amazing. All right. So we got Francis Mauigoa out of Bradenton, IMG, out of Hawaii, by the way, of course. Mm-hmm. And they just got the Riley Williams kid, who they beat out Alabama and Ohio. And we talked about Jaden Rashada, Nathaniel Joseph, Robert Stafford. I mean, the list continues now, dude. And now it's 4- and 5-star guys are constantly committing now to the University of Miami.
Yeah, I mean it's a different level of recruiting. We told you that Mario was gonna recruit differently than some of the previous guys that were here, and all of this, you know, I mean, look, a guy like Francis, and he was getting recruited to Oregon by Mario. So these are longstanding relationships that Mario builds, and he always talks about it being two years off. That's why you recruit the 24, 25, 26 kids right now, because you want to be in there at the end. And I think without that relationship, Francis Mauigoa probably goes somewhere else, not Miami. So it's all about relationships. It's all about convincing these guys that you're the best option for them. And Mario does it arguably as good, if not better, than everybody else in the country.
So talk to me about this kid, Francis. So what do you know? Are we allowed to call him Francis, or we can only call him Psycho? I'm not exactly sure. We lost about like 60% of our audience right now, but go ahead.
Yes, he's listen, these kids nowadays, first of all, IMG Academy is for old school fans,
college football feeder system is what it is.
Yeah, it basically is a football university, right? These kids go there, they live on campus like they're in college. They go through courses, they have all kinds of weight training in the middle of the day. It's basically preparing them for the NFL, beyond college, right? It's getting them ready for the big thing. And so I went and I saw IMG play Plantation American Heritage last year in August. And I mean, it just looks like another level of football. It looks like another just group of grown-ass men out there on the field playing high school kids. And this Francis kid was playing right tackle. He's super dominant, just nasty, another Penei Sewell type player. So, I mean, this is a huge get for Miami, a huge get for Mario in the sense that now everybody sees it's not just talk, right? Like he's getting the actual guys to commit and join the team. It's one thing to have them all come on a visit. It's another thing to get them to want to jump in the boat with you. And so I think it carries over. It carries weight with the next group of kids and the other kids were uncommitted. So I think they're going to get another 5-star this week in Jaden Wayne, another kid that he's had a long relationship with, a kid out of Washington who's going to IMG Academy for his senior year, along with Riley Williams, who transferred in from Portland. Also, they could be closer and ready for campus. So I think Miami's in store to get another 5-star this coming weekend.
So did Mario open up an office at IMG? Is that what he did?
Basically, man, I
satellite office there. It's
a little satellite building.
He's got Jason Taylor hanging out at IMG there,
It just and gets them. It's amazing because Manny Diaz couldn't break through that barrier. They weren't getting kids like this from IMG Academy. All those kids were going to Clemson and Georgia and Alabama.
Remember, we're talking about the guy that was the #1 recruiter in the country when he was at Alabama.
Right.
So there's a reason why Heartline has developed a reputation he's developed in Ohio State, because that mother effer is recruiting the crap out of people, and he's out recruiting most, especially at wide receiver. And Mario did the same thing in Alabama, and that's why he got that shot at Oregon, because they saw, okay, if this guy can recruit, then have him bring people here to Oregon. And sure enough, the relationships he's built in Oregon, he's now detoured them all the way to Miami.
He has. And again, you talk about putting in the work, like getting these kids on campus is half the battle. And, Miami was, before Mario got here, they were able to attract kids, at least come down, even on unofficial visits, but not to this level. And you get them on campus, you get a chance to talk to them about the future, you get a chance to talk to them about the long-term vision. And a lot of these kids, Miami doesn't have that $100 million football facility yet. They do have the indoor practices, but it's not like what they had at Oregon. And so Mario is essentially selling a vision here of what it's going to be. So it shows you his value, why coaching matters, why having the right guy in place matters, because you had another guy here who didn't have the 2 national championship rings that he won on the field like Mario did. He didn't have the head coaching experience that Mario did, and you're seeing the difference just in the recruiting. He hasn't even coached the game yet, and he's already got a 5-star in tow here. So big things are in store. I talked to a lot of recruiting guys like me that have been around this state for a long time, old people that work with FSU and UF and the other state schools and Alabama's, and get recruiting film and etc. They're all saying Mario wins 10 games this year, it's a wrap for Florida State and Florida. Like Miami is going to be the premier team in this state if he wins 10 games this year and has a solid season. And what's going to happen with the 24 recruiting class and the 25, all those kids are going to want to line up and play for Miami.
Right. Mm-hmm. It'll just get better and better.
Yeah.
Along the way. Plus, he'll get transfers. That's the other thing that's going to start coming in too, because as you have success, they're going to go, no, I can go over there and play and win. I'm out of here. And you're going to get a lot of kids that are going to get homesick, and they're going to go, yeah, I'm not having a lot of fun. Man, I left home. I left Miami. I could have gone to Miami. I'm going there now. So that's the other thing that's going to happen. All right. Now, let's get to the really important stuff. And I want to know what the hell you've been able to dig up, because every other conference is dead. It's only 2 conferences that are the future now. The ACC is not one of them. Miami has to know that. So what are they doing? What are they doing about joining the SEC or the Big Ten? To me, it makes more sense for them to go right to the SEC. Them and Clemson look perfect. I almost feel like Florida State's going to end up in the Big Ten, actually. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. But anyway, talk to me about what the hell is going on, because I know you had to have asked people in Coral Gables, and they have to be making already plans for an exit strategy. They're a private school. More than anything else, they need that $100 million a year overall. So talk to me. What have you been able to unearth about Miami moving? Because they're going to have to call the moving truck soon. They're going to have to call my boys at Essential Moving Services quickly. So let's go.
Well, the initial word that I got last week coming out of Coral Gables was that there had been no discussions about leaving the ACC. And part of that was the grant of rights, okay? Because the grant of rights, every school in the ACC essentially signed over their media rights through 2036 to the conference. So if there's going to be people attempting to leave, like Miami, okay, and say the SEC comes to them with this offer, or even the Big Ten comes to them and says, hey, we want you to come be part of the 4 new teams that we're going to add here so that we can get to 20. There's going to be a heavy price to pay, because there's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars in media rights that Miami's going to have to forfeit and then try to make up for in whatever they get payout wise from the Big Ten or the SEC. So financially, right now, it seems like a long shot that anything is going to happen immediately, especially, 2036, the contract running that long. It's just a long ways away. So the first thing that's got to happen, if Miami's going to leave the ACC, is that the ACC itself, the founding members, the people involved in this whole thing that reach this agreement with the grant of rights, they have to agree that, hey, we're gonna toss this agreement to the side here and renegotiate. So, to me, when I look at this situation and from talking to people in Coral Gables, there's nobody panicking right now, because they feel like, okay, our situation in the ACC, we're fine for the next couple of years. It's what happens 10 years from now. 7 years from now.
Well, that's what you plan for. Yeah.
So there's going to be obvious litigation. There's going to be people in Miami that, lawyers, they're going to be looking at this agreement, this grant of rights agreement, to see if there's ways that you can develop a case to get out of it. So that
what you're saying is Ruiz is already looking into it. I got you.
What I'm saying is that right now, anybody expecting Miami to get out of the ACC next year and be in the Big 12 or
no, of course not next year, but
it's not. This is years away from happening. And basically the feedback I got from people in charge at Miami, people who know what they're doing, is that, look, it took a full year for the Big Ten to sort of get USC and UCLA to jump on board after Oklahoma and Texas. It's going to be at least another year before we see some havoc. And what we're going to see first is the Pac-12 schools, because their TV contract runs out in 2024. It's much more feasible for those schools to make a move, sacrificing money. For Miami, for Clemson, for Florida State, and all the ACC schools that may be attractive, that grant of rights agreement is a bear. And until they can figure out a way around it, nobody's going anywhere.
Okay. All right. But they got to know that they can't get left out, right? I mean, they have.
I think there's certainly a sense of responsibility that they paid Mario Cristobal a lot of money. They've invested a lot of money in the football. Nobody at Miami is saying we're going to get left behind. I think what they're saying is it's very early in the ball game right now to say what's going to happen, especially with that grant of rights agreement. If that grant of rights agreement wasn't in place, you'd probably see a lot more action. You'd hear a lot more rumors. If Miami's TV contract was up in 2025 and not 2036, yes, it would be a much bigger deal. But I think we're a couple years away from really from having anybody at Miami figure this thing out. And until we start to see some other ACC schools push towards dumping this grant of rights agreement, I just think we're kind of spinning wheels here in the early going.
Okay, so final question. For Miami, the hiring of Mario Cristobal, becomes more important than ever, and I'll explain why. If you kept down the path that you were with Randy, with Golden, with Diaz, and you kept that going for the next few years, you would not be attractive to those major conferences. And they would say, yeah, they don't spend money. They are passe. They didn't change with the times. We don't need them. They still have some buzz, but it's more about watching them lose than anything else. The success that Mario needs to have over the next couple of years is actually very important to the future of the program, because if you kept down the shitty path, you might not be chosen as one of those teams. But if you go down this sexy path where you are one of the top teams, you are winning, you are in the big bowl games, then those conferences are desperately going to want you, because you're going to bring the fan base, the interest, the money, the ratings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So actually, the hiring and the success of Mario Cristobal has become more important than ever for the University of Miami football's programs. No, the entire athletic program's future. Agree or disagree?
1000% agree. I mean, I think this all has to do with how much you want to see the football program succeed, right? This entire push was about making the U brand known. Again. And yeah. I just finished going through the TV
making it relevant again.
Oh, absolutely. And this you want to talk about relevancy, right? TV ratings and how this is all related to TV. I just went through and did a whole chart of all the ACC games, right, for last year that drew over 1 million viewers. Miami's 2 best games, you obviously know which ones those were, right? Alabama and Michigan State. Those had over 2 million viewers. The next Miami game on the list is Miami, Virginia. Not even Miami FSU, Miami, Virginia. Okay.
Well, because Miami FSU, they're both mediocre. So yeah, it's sexy.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's maybe 1.5 million viewers. So you want to make yourself sexy if you're Miami, okay? You got to start winning. You got to be better than 7-5. You got to be better than 8-4.
Right.
And
Michigan, they got those ratings because of the other team, not because of Miami.
Right, because of Alabama and Michigan State, I mean, and if you just look at the TV ratings, though, I mean, people talk about, what makes the SEC and Big Ten so special? It's that people actually tune in to watch their effing games.
Yes.
The ACC, I mean, it really...
And attend. And watch, okay?
If you look down this list, okay, the highest rated ACC, pure ACC game, okay, didn't involve a Big Ten team or anything else. Here it is. Pittsburgh, Wake Forest ACC championship game, 1.5 rating, 2.6 million viewers. That's it. And that was the 6th highest conference championship game behind, by the way, the American Athletic Conference, the one with UCF and SMU. That game was lower rated than that one. So you talk about the ACC and the situation it's in. Look, Florida State is terrible right now. Virginia Tech has fallen off from what it was. Clemson isn't the elite national power it was. They need Miami badly to be good, because
Dabo's actually in a very delicate state right now, losing his defensive coordinator and losing his AD. And this is going to put him through one hell of a test right now over the next couple of years.
There's no question.
You're right. Miami is needed badly, but Miami, forget about the conference itself. If you want to make yourself sexy for the future, brother, you need to get back to your winning ways, because that's where the Big Ten, the SEC are going to say, no, Miami, come over here. No, we want you over here, because you're going to bring our TV contract value up. Because of that, everywhere you're going to go, you're going to fill the place up because you're a great team again. And that's going to be the sexiness of it all. So the hiring of Mario, you also wonder, this is me, 32 years, which I know it happens to you too. People don't understand how cynical we get, because we've been lied to and misdirected so much by the people we cover. You wonder if also the administration for the University of Miami already knew about this kind of stuff coming up and said, we better do something about our football program, because we are going to become completely irrelevant if these superpower conferences are coming. So who knows? Maybe Frank and them, they already had a whiff of what was coming, and they knew that they had to make this investment or get tossed to the, by the wayside. So who knows? There's a part of me that says, I wonder if they knew, because man, the 180 turnaround of hiring Mario and spending, my brother, that's like you meet a guy that's like meeting a guy that's a drug addict one day, and then the next day he's clean and straight, and he's, running a Wall Street investment firm or something, and it's $1 billion company. You're like, yo, dude, weren't you in an alley with a crack pipe yesterday? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the change was drastic for the University of Miami. I wonder if they had any inkling.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, look, let's face it. The Oklahoma, Texas move to the SEC had already happened last year.
Right.
When all this happened. And so do I think this was all driven, the financial push simply driven by conference realignment? No, but I do think there's enough smart people around to know, hey, we've been irrelevant for 2 decades now. If we're ever going to make a push in football, we have to do it now. We have a young coach that we can go out and get, who we think can push all the right buttons. And he played here. He's going to come home. And that was their thinking. Hey, we gotta make a push now, because irrelevancy has been lasting way too long. And so it's coming together at the right moment. I hope for the University of Miami and for us that this is it, that this is the magic moment, that Mario gets it all together, and that this program starts to win big again, because there is a lot of money to be made. And I do think there will be a list of haves and have-nots that's pretty, profound in college football. Right now you got, or you've had 65, Power 5 teams, including Notre Dame, right? I think that number is probably going to go down to somewhere around 40, 5 to 10 years from now, where you only have 40 teams that are really competing for championships.
I agree. Makes all the sense in the world. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic, and make sure you subscribe there also. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you for taking some time. We will catch up later in the week, my friend.
All right, brother. Take care.
You got it. There you go. Manny Navarro in our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
That's right, baby. Canes better call Essential Moving Experts. Go call Sean Williams and the boys. They'll come down and move you to another conference. Or they'll move your office, or they'll move your home. Essential Moving Experts, look at them right there. Look at that logo. It's aqua and orange. You think Sean is a Dolphins fan? No. He definitely is a Dolphins fan. Okay? He is so hardcore. He made it his colors. It is awesome. Anyway, go call him, 844-368-5750. You'll get $150 off if you mention the Big O. Tell him, yo, Big O says $150 off, and you get it. Over 1,600 happy customers have filed in saying they love EssentialMovingExperts.com. You will too. Long moving services, home moving services, short distance, office relocation, flat rates, no surprise charges, safe and efficient loading and unloading practices at all times. Go to EssentialMovingExperts.com, 844-368-5750, and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Sean Williams and the great people at Essential Moving Experts. Awesome. Make sure you check them out. They will take care of you. By the way, Omar Kelly is set to join us in hour number 3 at 12:15. So we'll have some fun with him. We'll talk to George Richards at 1 o'clock. So we'll have some fun there, and we'll talk a little Oki Doesn't seem like anything really has changed too much on the Panthers side. Let's hope there's some better news ahead overall for the Cats. As always, by the way, you can reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. By the way, our thoughts and prayers to the folks who lost their lives in Highland Park yesterday. Just a disgusting act by that thing. So 6 are dead, I believe, and several others injured, man. It just hard to it's hard to just go out on a regular night and go enjoy yourself. It's just terrible, man. Okay, I see. You're correcting me again on the clackers here. Clacker is the plastic balls connected on a string. Yep. I got it. My bad. All right. There's multiple kinds of clackers. When I think clackers, that's like the first thing that comes to my mind. I think of the heat clackers, and that's me, man. I'm sorry. I'm the guy that thinks of something sports related. That's what it is. Congratulations to Inter Miami getting the tie yesterday against Dallas, and in the 89th minute, Campana came in and got the goal. Thank the Lord. They got Orlando City on Saturday at 8:00, so good there. We did not win our liquor split matchup of the night yesterday. We told you to lay the 1.5 runs with the Marlins, and I thought they would get it done, man. They did win. At least they kept a 4-game streak on the Nationals, and they won 3-2. So let's do this. Let's go with our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
All right, so we are now 12-4 in our liquor split matchup of the night here in the last 16 games. We told you to take the Marlins minus 1.5 runs. Unfortunately, they only won 3-2 in 10 innings. Braxton Garrett, by the way, had a nice outing yesterday with 1 earned run and 7 1/3. That was nice. And they completed the 4-game sweep of the Nationals. They're 12-1 against the Nationals. Tonight, they start a set at Lone Depot Park against the Angels, and Ohtani is in town. Noah Syndergaard is on the mound, and Sandy Alcantara, baby, towing that slab. He's 8-3 with a 1.95 ERA, and Syndergaard is 5-6 with a 3.86 ERA. Well, Marlins are favored by 1.5 runs. The over and under is 7. Angels are plus 120. Marlins are minus 140. Angels, by the way, are 4-8 in their last 12 games. They're not playing well. But guess what? That's not going to be my selection in the liquor split matchup of the night. No. Now, I am going to go over to the Mets and the Reds game instead. Max Scherzer is on the mound for the Mets. He's 5-1 with a 2.54 ERA. Nick Lodolo for the Reds is 1-2 with a 5.52 ERA. Mets, by the way, are favored by 1.5 runs. The over and under is 9. Mets are minus 200 in the money line, and Cincy is plus 170 on the money line. I love the Mets and Max Scherzer. He has been, just smoking over the last couple of outings. I think he's only had one outing where he allowed like 4 runs in the last 5 or 6, and they still won that game. All the others are like 1 run or no runs pretty much. It's Max Scherzer, bro. Give me a break. He's a hell of a pitcher, and he's on a roll. I'm gonna lay the 1.5 runs here. The over and under 9 is interesting because I think they'll score some runs, but I'm not touching that. Minus 200 is a really high number there. Be betting 200 to win 100 is just, it's a little crazy. And the Cincy number is interesting at plus 170, but I just don't think they're going to beat Scherzer. So I'm going to go Mets here, and I'm going to go minus 1.5 runs here in our liquor split matchup of the night to get us back on track and get our 13th win here in this streak. So Mets minus 1.5 run in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Liquor Split. We love it. Download then tap that app. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys see Cuban boxer Guillermo? Let me make sure I pronounce it right. Rigondeaux. I think it's pronounced right. Rigondeaux. Anyways, unfortunately, he had a exploding pressure cooker accident, and he shared the pictures of the accident. And look at that, man. I mean, that is wow, dude. And you're talking about a good-looking dude, man. See, that's how he looks. Good-looking dude, young guy, hell of a boxer. And my Lord, how your life changes. And he suffered all kinds of facial burns from the pressure cooker explosion. You just crazy stuff, man. I saw that in the news, and wow, just you got to feel for him, man. And dangerous is it's dangerous to be cooking, and dangerous dealing with them pressure cookers, man. I remember the old lady used to, if she was in the kitchen cooking and she's using pressure cookers and all that kind of stuff, if as a kid, whenever you walked into the kitchen around, oh man, the old lady told, hey, watch out, get out of there. Like, and you moved your ass with a quickness. Okay. Hell, you might have gotten just like a little whack across the head. Yo, what are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here. We're cooking. You can get burned here. You know, that kind of stuff. So whenever there was that kind of stuff going on around the kitchen, they were the heightened alert was there at the moment. And so if you went in there to go get some food, get something from the refrigerator, get like some boniato that's there, or some maduros, or something that they cook, because they'll cook things and fry some stuff on the side and leave some snacks for you. You can come back because you're smelling the lechon all day, and you're smelling whatever it is, the roasted whatever it is, and your ass is hungry all day, and you got to wait hours for that mofo to finish. So what the cooks normally do, and I'm pretty sure that's in all cultures when they're cooking things for a long time, they'll give you like little things that they'll cook, and they'll, I hear you guys can pick a little bit here on this and that kind of. But if you walked into that kitchen as a kid, boy, they were on heightened alert there. Yo, watch out. We got a pressure cooker here. There's things going on. Get the hell out of here. Always looking out for the kids. Big old Max. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying in his last few outings, he was on a groove. So I'm good with Max Scherzer. I'm going to take him tonight. I looked at it. His last few outings before the injury, he was on a nice roll. Let me show you. I know he's injured, but it's Cincinnati, my brother. But I'll show you what I was talking about, because, I mean, I looked it up and did a little homework. It wasn't like he was stinking out the place at all. What's it called when he was on the mound? That's my point. Here we go. Scherzer. All right. Game logs. On the 18th, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 4 Ks. Against Seattle, 1 earned run, 7 innings, 6 Ks. Against Philly, he had 3 earned runs. Still won. It's a loss, by the way. And then he had another one, which was the 4-inning run that I told you about. And then before that, it was 0-1-1. My point is, he's been pitching absolutely fantastic before the injury. So I am going to easily take him today. And the way the Mets are playing offensively, I think they should be fine too on top of all of that. So that's why I really like this game and why I'm laying some wood. And plus, it's Max Scherzer. So I kind of, trust Max Scherzer. He's one of those guys that I can trust. Mets, by the way, 7-4, 4-1, 4-3. Oh, they lost 7-3 there. 9-1, 5-3, 5-3, 6-0. They got it there. There's an 8-2 and a 5-3, a 9-1 loss, but they are scoring their share of runs. So I do like them in order to take care of business against Cincinnati. And again, it's Cincinnati. Cincinnati is just a bad team. So hard to have any respect for Cincinnati. So I'm taking Scherzer minus the 1.5 runs. Take it, baby. My mom's pressure cooker exploded back in the day. Oxtail everywhere. The floor, the ceiling, everywhere. Hey, you got to be careful with that, man. Let's take a quick break. Hour number 3, Omar Kelly will join us at 12:15 right here on the Big O Radio Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, baby. It's hour number 3 here. We're ready to rock and roll. Sean Stanley, of course, mastering this program. We love that. You know what I haven't done, and since I'm traveling tonight, I always tell you about my I haven't treated my hair today with my Red Recover hat. So I might as well treat it and do my 15 minutes. There you go. And we'll get Omar Kelly on in a few minutes. See how simple it is? You go to redrecover.com. Helps your hair grow. Here we go. George Richards will join us at 1, too. So we'll have a little fun with George. By the way, Blue Chew, yes, sir. Guys, I want to give you some ammunition that you need in the bedroom. That's right. Spring has sprung. Summer is here. Time to get hot in the bedroom. And listen, the ladies love it when you've got that confidence. And Blue Chew is here to give you that confidence. And I'm going to give you some free Blue Chew. That's right. So you can have some fun in the bedroom. That's it. Blue Chew, a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. Okay. And now it's free. How about that? You can take them anytime, day or night. You can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises, if you know what I mean. The process is simple. Go to bluechew.com, consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. Now, the best part, it's all done online. So you don't have to visit a doctor's office, no awkward conversations, or waiting in line at the pharmacy. Yeah, like a little Cialis. Anyway, Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet package. That's what it's all about. And of course, you know, women love confidence in the bedroom. And who knows, maybe this is the first impression you're going to make on this lady. Make it a lasting one. That's why we're going to get you some free Blue Chew. I got a great deal for you right now. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code BIG O. That's right, at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's all you're going to pay. You're going to get a 1-month supply for free for $5. BlueChew.com, promo code BIG O, and you receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, of course, we thank Blue Chew for being a great sponsor of our program. Thank you to the folks at Blue Chew. All right. Oh, you got a show tomorrow. What time? I'll be in Vegas tomorrow. It'll be around the same time. It'll be around there, around 10 in the morning, maybe 10:30. I don't know. Maybe 9:45, maybe 10:15. No, John, I'll be out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, why would you ask if I have a show? Of course I have a show. We work for a living, bro. Hell, we were on this Saturday and we were on Monday. I mean, I don't know. We're there, baby. We're there. We're there for you every time. Bip Bop 66 had time to see Buffalo Miami rivalry over the weekend, Fins fans, but can't see us winning any games against the Bills unless we can outscore them. Can you really see Allen and crew in a defensive game against us? Yes, I can. If you have a good coaching staff that fix your offense, you're going to have a chance to compete and even beat Buffalo. I'm not telling you you're going to sweep them because they're the better team in the division, but I would not go in with a defeatist attitude on saying that you've already lost it when you haven't even given them a chance to show you if they can coach. You have the talent. So now you've got to go put it together. I would not. I'm not quick to give up on these Dolphins right now. I want to give them an opportunity before I say, oh, okay, yeah, I don't feel that good right now about it. Oh, it's going to take a while or whatever. Let's see. Let me give them an opportunity to find out. Maybe we've got a really good offensive mind here running the team, and maybe he knows how to keep people off balance. And if he's able to do that, and listen, if they can run the ball and protect Tua, they're going to have a shot at beating anybody. That's the way I see it. I'm not telling you they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not telling you that they're the best team in the league or anything like that. I'm just saying you're pretty good on defense. You're pretty good on special teams. You can be better in those areas if your offense is better automatically. And if your offense is better, then you're going to have you've won 9 and 10 games the last 2 years. So you've proven that you're there in that threshold. You just need to add a couple of more. And that's where I would not give up on the Dolphins so quickly and be, of course, Buffalo is the class of the division. We all know that. But, let's at least let the process play out a little bit more. And then you can make a determination of where you really stand. And listen, I know one of the things that's happened to Dolphin fans over the years is that you have this malaise. You have this thing that's just hovered over the team for 20 years because it's been mediocre and it never lives up to anything. So you kind of feel like it's, Groundhog Day. It's going to happen again and again and again. I get it. And that's human nature. But I would just say, instead of being negative right from the get-go, keep an open mind and find out where they're at. And then you can determine whether you're going to be good enough to compete with some of the better teams or not. All right, let's have some fun. Let's talk a little Dolphins football. Omar Kelly is ready for the chancletas and the FPNL people right here on our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
All right. There he is. All right. What are you looking out the window to see if the FPNL guys are there still?
What FPNL guys are you talking about?
Somebody says, Big O, ask Omar if he chased the FPNL guys off his yard with his chancleta.
Listen, that was about them parking on my front part of my yard, like instead of parking in the street. I'm like, why is it that y'all always have to park on my yard? There's not only is I actually have the lawn that's not torn up. You can go park anywhere else. Why you got to park on my nice lawn?
Oh, so you had a nice lawn and everything. They screwed it all up, huh? Wow.
It's I dealt with that a long time. I dealt like that a week ago. I don't even know why anybody was bringing that up.
Well, somebody brought it up on the chat board. I was intrigued. He's old man Kelly's telling him, get off my lawn.
Absolutely.
That's
no question. When you work hard for your yard, and everybody who's got because we don't have any sidewalks in this neighborhood, which is weird, but we don't. Wow. So that front part of your yard is difficult to kind of keep up, and I work hard to keep it up, and people want to drive on it, park on it, and it's very troubling when you put all that work into it, and then all of a sudden somebody drives their car on it.
Right. God, that's terrible. So I saw you writing about Mike Greer, Chris Greer's brother, as he's climbing the the ranks in hockey now to become a general manager in hockey. That's it's a really talented family, actually.
Always been, you know, they're front office guys. They grew up in the front office. It's in their bloodline. So I'm glad to see that.
Plus he was a hell of a player for, I want to say, like, I don't know, 12, 15 years or something like that in the hockey in the NHL.
You tell me. I don't know. You tell me.
You didn't know that? Did you know that he was also a hell of a player for a long time?
I knew he was a player. I didn't know he was. I couldn't tell you who was a good hockey player.
Yeah, no, he was a good player in the league for a long time. I'm gonna tell you, he was like one of the greats of all time or something. But he was a good player, and dude, he lasted a long time in the NHL. He had a long ass career, and then, you know, it just seems like there's a lot of that in that family. That a lot of them are tied to athletics, and then some of them now are moving up into the management side of it. You know, and I listen, I'm happy for Chris because I think a lot of the stuff that's gone on, he made a mistake. He made a mistake with Flo, and it didn't really jive. And it's really important in any business and life and relationships and whatever you're going to build. If you're going to build a marriage, you're going to build a business, you're going to build a football team, you gotta get along and you gotta be on the right page. And hopefully his second hire here with McDaniel gets him on the right page, because obviously he was lucky enough to be able to get that second chance, which, as you know, minorities really don't get those kind of chances a lot of times, you know. So it's nice that he got that chance. Let's hope it works out now, because if you have chemistry, I think it'll look. I've said it for a while. I have nothing but respect for Reggie McKenzie, for Marvin Allen, and for Chris Greer, and I'm going to stick to it. They're going to prove to be one of the best front offices in the NFL as time goes on.
I have respect for them. I like the fact that Chris doesn't have a huge ego, so he's able to work with others and collaboratively. I know and respect Reggie McKenzie for what he's accomplished in his career, and I know, and based on the people that I talk to, that Marvin Allen is one of the best college evaluators, talent evaluators in the NFL. He's a guy, I've seen him operate. He's like the Pied Piper in those environments where everybody's coming up to him. Now, whether or not it can work here, whether or not it can, turn this organization into a perennial winner, who knows? I've been here long enough to see 15 years of mediocrity and mistakes that remind me that it's not always about who you hire or who's running the show or what quarterback did you select. It's a collaborative thing, and I've never been one of those guys who sits there and says, "Oh, it starts at the top." That hasn't been me. But I'm at the point now where I have to realize, where I have to conclude, like, I've seen it done so many ways and so many failures that maybe it does start at the top, and maybe that's what the issue is. So you're at the point where you've got to rule everything out, and at this point, to me, it does come down to ownership and the leadership that starts from the top. And that's always pulls forward. I've never been that guy, because I've always looked at Steve Ross as, oh, he does what you want him to do and he spends money. How could he be bad? Like, whatever you want him to do, he does, and he spends money. Right. How could he be the problem?
He's not. Nobody could ever say he's bad. He just hasn't had success. Bad is Loria, that you don't spend. Bad is the guy, at least at the moment right now for the Marlins, Bruce Sherman has not really spent money. He spent a little money this offseason, but we all know he's not really spending the kind of money you need to spend in baseball in order to compete. So that's bad. For Stephen Ross, it's just, Huizenga was good too, bro. I mean, he brought Saban, and he brought Marcel, and he did
whatever you did.
Everything you needed. You need a stupid bubble. I'll build a stupid bubble. You need a new practice facility. There's Stephen Ross building a new practice facility. Oh, you got to save the tennis tournament. So he's not only a good owner for the Dolphins, he's actually a very good owner for the community, because he saved the tennis tournament. Yeah, he saved the tennis tournament. He brought an F1 race here. He's made that stadium, along with Tom Garfinkel, way more of a destination now with all the different shows that they're bringing there, with Jazz in the Gardens and Rolling Loud and all kinds of other concerts. And, you know, that place has become a real destination now for entertainment, dude. You know, so they are
I don't think any of that.
They're great custodians for our community. He just hasn't been a great owner because he hasn't won. Because that's the only label you get as a great owner. You have to win. Viola and Sifu are great owners, but they just haven't won with the Panthers. So we just consider them, you know, hey, they're doing great. They're at least making the effort. But until you win the cup or whatever, you're not going to be considered the perfect owner. But dude, they do everything you need.
If there's one correlation, and I am at the point where I'm like, okay, it starts at the top, it starts at owner, it starts at leadership. But if there's one correlation that I could say that's been a universal theme sewn into every single change and GM change and vice president change and head coach change, it's that they never felt quarterbacks. They always attach themselves to the wrong quarterback, and they never felt quarterbacks should have to compete to win their spot. That's the only universal thread that ties everything together, from my perspective. And a lot of times, I felt like that was the wrong approach to take at where the organization was.
Well, it all depends on what quarterback you have, because really, you don't ever really do that. And you only do that when your quarterback is not good enough, like Ryan wasn't. And so, or AJ Feely or any of the other guys that you've had, you should bring.
But you never did that. You never did that during the Ryan era.
Right. But what I'm saying is, when you draft Joe Burrow, you don't really draft competition. When you draft certain guys, you just don't draft competition. You're not drafting competition for Deshaun Watson. You're not really drafting competition for Baker Mayfield. Normally, when you draft a quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever, there is no competition. It's after that they've proven to you that they're not good enough that you'll make the move for Deshaun Watson, that you'll trade up and give up a bunch of picks for Trey Lance. Then is when those guys then convince you. But normally, when you acquire a quarterback, you start him, you trade for him, whatever it is, you don't really bring in competition, because then why did you acquire him? It's one of those confidence things in the locker room that if your front office and your coaching staff don't show confidence in him, the rest of the locker room is not going to do it. So if you bring in a guy and you bring in Tannehill and you bring in competition, you're already sending a message to your locker room that he's not good enough. That's why we have to have competition. And so then that creates a fuzzy situation. That's why what you're saying normally doesn't happen.
I disagree with that line of thinking, and I believe competition is healthy for everybody.
I agree.
Every player on the team has competition, but
not in quarterback. Not in quarterback. Think about it.
Exactly. Every player but the quarterback has competition. I personally believe that that's an unhealthy approach. Now listen. While I disagree with you in theory,
because normally it just doesn't happen, what you're talking about specifically with the Dolphins, you're 1,000% right. Because you acquired somebody that wasn't good enough, you should have brought in competition, because everybody else knows he's not good enough. Okay, we know Cleo Lemon's not good enough. We know AJ Feely's not good enough. We know that Ryan Tannehill's not good enough. Do something about it. You're 1,000% right. Huh?
I just ignored him. He just skipped over him like it was
right. Chad Henne was not good enough too. That was a guy that
it was like a brain fart you just had. You just like Chad Henne error. 3 years of my life wasted. Okay, whatever.
Well, because Parcells had that whole thing of the 10,000 yards, the 4-year starter, yada yada yada.
You know what's funny about that error? They drafted quarterbacks 3 straight years, rounds 2 and above.
Yeah, I know.
No, they were all rounds 2, and it just like I would more respect that approach than what's happening lately now, forever.
No, not this one here. Recently, I like what you did here with Tua, but before everything else, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I like what they're doing with Tua, and I watched the Tyreek Hill interview. Didn't find it tremendously up.
No, it's not about football. It's about personal. It's about connection. It's about support. It's about a foundational relationship to start something. And if you're going to have success, well, you should enjoy each other's company. You should be able to get along. You should try to be on the same page.
I don't even think it was about that. I think the most telling thing that I took from that interview was Tyreek basically saying to him, when Tua comes to him and says, "Hey, what time do you think we should meet for off-field workouts?" And Tyreek's like, "Hey,
you're the quarterback.
You tell us when, and we'll be there. Like you have to lead us." And that was just that was just a very telling thing, and it's important because it's showing that, hey, I'm the biggest star in this team, but I relinquish all my leadership rights to you.
Yeah, but Tua also has that thing in him at the moment, like every other player does. I haven't proven it yet, so I don't feel like I should take over and boss people around. Once he has that success, then he'll feel much more comfortable kind of dominating that locker room. And I think that's the threshold that he's waiting to cross. And time is the only thing that's going to answer that. His success will allow him to then cross that threshold to say, okay, this is my team. I'm taking over. You know what I mean? And I think that's all it is for players. He should, pretty much.
He should view it as his team. And
He should. But he's having the respect that a Johnny Manziel would not have. That Johnny has not accomplished anything, but he'll walk in and dominate the locker room. And it's like, yo, dude, like, you just got here. You haven't done anything. And so I think that's what it is. This is a respectful kid. And so he's not comfortable going to places that he's not supposed to be in yet. And that's him saying, when I'm there, then I'm going to then open my wings up and then expand. But I think he's kind of respectful about all of that. But it was a great moment where Tyreek said, dude, you're the quarterback. You tell us. You want to go to Hawaii? I'll go to Hawaii with you, I love that. I love that about him because he's supporting his guy. He's helping him to that point of having that confidence, because you can tell Tyreek wants him to take over. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those deals.
I've never seen, and I don't know if this is a Mike McDaniel mandate or this is just Tyreek Hill, who's coming from a good, healthy organization. But as you know, I've been here 15 years. I've seen a lot of dysfunction. I've seen a lot of leadership battles. I've seen a lot of trauma. I've seen a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. But I've never seen a player empower their quarterback more or lift their quarterback up more than what Tyreek is doing. And it's admirable to me. Now, will it pay off when he's in his first game and he's got a Mike Wallace moment where he's not targeted and he throws a tantrum after the game? We'll see. We'll soon figure that out. But ultimately, he's saying and doing all the right things to ensure to it that, hey, you are empowered, you are important, you are our guy. And this is another moment where Tua gets on Tyreek about underthrowing him and like,
oh, don't say that here.
Don't say that here. And Tua's like, and it was just
but Tua understood that. That's why he mentioned it. Like, he wanted to have fun with that too.
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
he was feeding the trolls there too at the same time.
And I agree. But here's what people have to factor in: it takes a minute to build chemistry, no matter what. And Tyreek is the fastest human I've ever seen. Like, outside of track runners, he's the fastest player on the football field that I've ever seen. So it's going to take a little minute to develop chemistry. I remember the final practice where Tua throws. That we were there, and Tua throws 2 touchdown passes to Tyreek. You only saw one from the Dolphins media presentation, even though they got film of the second one. It was a little underthrown. It was a little. He had to stop and go get it. Despite having the cornerback, the safeties burnt like 10 yards, and it would have opened them up for criticism. So you know what they do? They're like, nah, we're not going to even put it out.
Right. But that's all part of timing. That's kind of what it is. Those are the things that he'll figure out. Like, oh, I've got to throw it a tenth of a second faster than I normally will.
People act like this. I watch Wallace and Tannehill never develop any chemistry.
Well, but that's touch. That's a lack of touch. This kid has touch. That's
but then
timing is one thing, touch is another. And
then Tannehill developed chemistry with Kenny Stills, and people were like, "Oh, look, see, it's so instantaneous. It's like where why Mike Wallace sucked and Kenny Stills is amazing." I'm like, okay, people, y'all clearly want to see what you want to see, do what you think, what you want to think. So, but chemistry takes time. He's developed. I don't even think he has great chemistry with Mike Gesicki. We got a lot of Mikes. No, we don't.
Well, they didn't help last year by keeping him on the sidelines and not playing him enough when it's one of your best weapons.
Oh,
that's where I think this dude will be different. This guy is going to use all his weapons, including Alec Ingold, and he's going to find ways to give them advantages out in the open field. So I think that's where things will change. I think you'll have a better offensive mind to take advantage of all of those kind of things. I don't think your best weapons will be sitting on the sidelines all the time with Mike McDaniel compared to with Flo. Right? I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, hell, if I don't, I have to expect a better offense, bro. I mean, it can't be the same shit we've seen here the last 12 months.
Years. Last 15
I mean,
years.
there were times that were half decent offenses, but what we saw last year, 2 years ago wasn't bad. Last year was just incompetent, dude. It was really, really bad. The Changeli year wasn't terrible.
I like the Changeli.
It was a solid year. It was a solid year. But last year,
but they still used Gesicki as a part-time player,
Okay, but he was younger then. I mean, last year he was more mature and ready to go, and he was coming off a pretty decent year, especially the second half of that season. I wish they would have used him a little bit more last year. I think they will this year overall. All right. Anything else on the football side that you're expecting this week from the Dolphins in the next couple of weeks? No moves, no nothing? You're not hearing anything?
Nah, man. They're on vacation. Chris Greer is probably somewhere in Massachusetts somewhere, living his life. I know Mike McDaniels is here, and I think he's probably using his time to settle into his life. But yeah, when you're in Miami, where you need to go.
No, I know. I mean, listen, you gotta get a little vacay in there, but I always gotta ask you guys because there's still some stuff out there and they have money. So what do you think they do with their money? Who gets paid down the line? Who's next?
I don't see anybody to sign to extensions. I'm letting Christian Wilkins play in his 5th-year option. I really don't.
You don't negotiate with Christian Wilkins until after the season, is what you're saying.
Correct.
But hold on a second. Who's up at the end of the year?
Van Ginkel, Wilkins, Dieter. You're gonna make me get my stuff out. All these running backs just signed 1-year deals.
Now I'm talking about important people like that you're gonna tag, that or possibly tag.
Nobody. Christian Wilkins is probably your top free agent going into this. He's not even a free agent. Like
he's restricted.
No, he's going to get the 5th-year option. So he's already got the 5th-year option.
Okay.
So there's nobody like Andrew Van Ginkel is it. Like
unless he goes out and has 12 sacks or something, then you got to. I'm just thinking of
Eric Flowers.
If you're not going to use cap space on any free agents,
they don't do that. They don't do that. At this point, they sign pieces that we need this extra body for camp. They probably need another linebacker. And then
well, that's what I mean. That they'll save the space for at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, if there's anybody that they feel they need to extend before the end of the season. That's why I asked you, which are those candidates? Because if you're not going to use the cap, you have the cap space you have left for whatever any free agent that's out there, then you're going to use it to re-sign.
They always have roughly about $13 million of cap carryover to the next year. That's just the Dolphins' way. They always use a budget in case of emergency, in case they need to go trade for Deshaun Watson. They've always operated like that. So I don't think that changes. So all this money that people have, I'm sorry, but I hate to break it to you if you didn't know this, but this Dolphin isn't a win-it-all team. They're not a Super Bowl contender. So what's the point of taking an all-in approach with money and players? Like, no, that's not where this team is. They're continuing to build. They're continuing to improve the foundation. They felt like the contractor was janky. They replaced the contractor and started to continue to build again. So will it work? Who knows? I think the only way that we can determine that is by whether or not they can pull off a playoff win. Because that's, to me, has been the goal from when I took over in 2007, and it still hasn't been achieved.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely the next step. It's making the playoffs and then try to win a game to start to see if you can get to that point where you start getting deeper into the playoffs. That would be really, really cool. All right. What else are you working on this week at the Sun Sentinel so Dolphin fans can check you out?
Nothing. Nothing, bro. I'm on vacation. Like, let me be. Let me enjoy my life. Let me have a barbecue. Let me go to the beach.
I hear a truck in the background. Is that another FP&L truck parking on your yard?
No, it just rained. Thank God, because the grass was getting a little dry. As you know, I'm a yard guy, so I'm always obsessing about my yard.
Well, Finn's fan is asking any interest in USFL players. Oh, come on, Omar. What USFL players that just finished the season are ready to help the Dolphins win the Super Bowl? Come on, Omar.
I like Chris Borland. I've always liked him. He was on my man crush list. I heard he just won the USFL championship.
Birmingham Stallions.
Yeah, I would sign him up. I've always been a fan of his, always. And I don't know why he didn't pan out in the NFL. He reminds me a lot of, I dare say it because they're white, two white undersized linebackers, but he reminds me a lot of Zach Thomas.
Yeah, when we talk about white undersized linebackers, that's it.
Give me another white undersized linebacker, and maybe I'll start to compare. Was Luke Kuechly undersized? I don't think so.
No. Luke Kuechly was like 6'3", 6'4". He was
no way. He was that.
Yeah,
big.
he was a big. Yeah, he was a normal size, big ass, athletic mofo. Yeah. He was a beast. Huh?
I said, you make me want to look that up now. I'm like, how do I not know Luke Kuechly is 6?
Let me see. Luke Kuechly, 6'3", 235. How about that, bitch?
6'3", 235. Jesus Christ, he was huge.
I know he was huge. Not only was he huge, he can move. That's why he was such a high draft pick, because the size and the athleticism that dude brought. The scariest moment was watching him get carted off and he's crying because, when you have a concussion, there's that effect that you have that they cannot control it. And it's an emotion that takes over them and they can't control the crying. And it was, because that guy suffered so many concussions.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
They can't control the crying? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's this emotional thing that happens to when you suffer a concussion and something happens. I don't know the medical term from it, but you all of a sudden these emotions take over and you will start to cry and stuff and it's uncontrollable. And you can see when he's being carted away and it's just sad because it's another one of those concussions and you're like, my God. this is going to be the end of this man's career, and he's such a great player and all that kind of stuff.
Props to him for walking away when he should. Now the question is, does he get into the Hall of Fame before Zach Thomas?
I would put him in the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame linebacker. If you're going to put Gale Sayers, and if you want to put Terrell Davis in, and if you want to put any of these other guys that have had short careers, his career was a little longer, and he was a great player, dude. Great player. That guy is, props to him, man. He's a monster.
Didn't answer the question. Does he get in before Zach?
No. I think Zach gets in now. I think Zach gets in here in the next year or two. Yeah, I think he's going to get in. I think a lot of people have realized that he deserves to be in there. And I've always been afraid that he's the guy that stays right on the outside looking in because of his size. And people don't appreciate
his
who
size
he
should
was.
be the reason why he's in.
I'm not arguing that, but it's just like because you have this thing, they tell you, oh, yeah, you're just a little overachiever. You know, that's kind of the way they treat you. It's terrible, dude. But that's the way they treat you, you know? So, oh, yeah, we're only giving you extra attention because you were an overachiever because of your size or something. That's the way they almost treat you. Instead of, this guy was a great player. Gives a shit how he looks like, what size he is, or whatever.
Linebackers in his era.
Yeah. Can you play? Hell yeah. So put his ass in there. So yeah, I would have no problem putting Kuechly and Zach Thomas in the Hall of Fame. All right, Omar. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Maybe next week when he comes back from vacation. You can catch him here twice a week doing his thing. Oh, thank you as always, my man. We'll catch up next week, later on in the week. Omar Kelly.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
That's right. By the way, we will be at Hialeah Park in a couple of weeks because we're going to be in Vegas, unfortunately, so we will not be at Hialeah Park. Edge Energy Drink is a proud sponsor of our show, and that's what the Dolphins are looking for this year, the edge. And hopefully they will get that edge that they need. But if you need the edge, all you got to do is go to myedgedrink.com and get Edge Energy Drink. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. When I tell you this, I can't repeat it enough. I can't brag enough about it. It's crazy to see how smooth it is, how delicious it is, and the fact that it has no aftertaste blows me away. 78 calories only, and you can order it anywhere in the country. Go to myedgedrink.com, get 10% off using our code BIG OW. All right. So go to myedgedrink.com, and a great elixir, man. Mixing it up with a little vodka, a little rum. It's a beautiful thing. I love it with my Grey Goose. It tastes so good. myedgedrink.com. Check it out. All right. Let's see. Dr. Badarko says, we will see what we got once the pads come on, period. Now it's all talk and hype propaganda. Yes, you are correct, sir. 10 centers in the USFL with more experience than Connor. Well, I guess we should sign them. Pat in Nashville says Zach will get in next year. Only reason he didn't get in last year was the Panthers linebacker was in his final year of eligibility. Bonacani, sorry, I misspelled his name. He was undersized back in the day. Yep. And it is insane that Zach isn't in. So there you go. Thank you, by the way, those of you that are liking the show. We're getting it up there, although we're over 300 viewers right now. So let's get over 300 likes, man. Come on. Those of you that are watching, just go over, hit that little like button there. And it helps get the show out to more people so we can grow. So please help us out if you can there. Appreciate it. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about in the world of sports? Oh, Brittany Greer writes a letter to Biden. And, you know, it's this is one of those stories that is just, it's sad in every way, shape, and form. And I saw her wife, you know, talking about how the government needs to do more and all of that. And I just wonder, like, and I get on the Britney side and her wife, they're not going to be nearly as reasonable. But other people, when they come out, like, and Biden's useless, you know, for me. But in this case, there isn't a president in the world that could do anything to reach a tyrant in the middle of a war. And he's going to play that stupid chess game that he's going to give her 10 years in jail. And then he's going to say, well, she's this major criminal because she had a little vape oil. And so I want to trade this major criminal for this criminal you have behind bars. And it's like a legitimate terrorist that we have behind bars. And that's what they're going to want to trade Brittany Griner for, and then embarrass the country that way. You know, so it's sad. And she wrote this letter, and listen, again, some of it I have to blame on her because she used no common sense whatsoever. She says, as I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever, the Mercury player wrote. On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the services of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who's a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year, she added. And again, feel terrible for her. But she kind of put herself in this position, and where she's at now, nobody's going to be able to reach her. Nobody's going to be able to reach that animal. Putin is going to use her as a pawn, and he's going to want to use her as a pawn to try to then embarrass the United States by trying to free a real criminal. And then the U.S. is like stuck in a rock and a hard place. Do we release a real criminal to get an American that's being unfairly treated over there? You're going to face 10 years in jail for a vape cartridge, for a little weed oil. It's an effed up world, man. Effed up world. What up, Big O and Sean? Getting from Vegas. What do you think about Zaire Wade son? That's his choice, man. What can I tell you? That's his choice. As long as he's happy and Wade and Gabrielle are happy, that's all that matters. It's a shame Richmond Webb is not in the Hall of Fame. And he probably will never get there. And there's a quiet man that doesn't get enough credit for being one hell of a player. Sucks. I don't feel bad for her. She broke a law and she should have known better. Yeah. That's the part. That's the part that, you know, I can't blame the U.S. and the government or whatever. I blame her more than anything else. She put herself in that position. But I read that, and it's like, to blame anybody on this side of the ocean is wrong. And nobody on this side has any control over your situation. That's why I disagree pretty strong with some of these people that are going after the government when you can't blame anybody in the government. You can only blame Brittany Griner for kind of putting herself in that spot, unfortunately. Sucks. How many years did John Offerdahl play, and how does he compare to Zach? I mean, quite honestly, Offerdahl didn't have a long career. It was like 5.5 seasons, I think, that he really played. So that's why. But if Offerdahl has a complete career, he's a better player than Zach Thomas. I just got to say it. I'm sorry. You know, John Offerdahl was a monster, bro. A monster. The injuries curtailed that career. Zach is great and a Hall of Famer. I guarantee you, John Offerdahl was a Hall of Fame linebacker. I watched John Offerdahl play. That was a Hall of Fame linebacker that did not have a long enough career to get in the Hall of Fame. But I guarantee you, anybody that watched John Offerdahl, they know what I'm talking about. That was a badass. I mean, just a straight up, flat out thug on the field. And I don't mean he meant play dirty at all. I mean, like, he was a gangster on the field. He would knock you out. He was a physical player. John Offerdahl was awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Seriously. Nasty. When we talk about Buoniconti, Offerdahl, and Zach, oh my God, man. Just what a threesome, man. Says Offerdahl played 8 years. Yeah, he didn't really play 8 years. It was like 5.5. You know, he missed a lot of games. Big O, what do you think about this crypto market? I have some long-term investments. That's what you should be in. I love the crypto market. I think it's fantastic. I think it's an absolute blessing what's going on right now. Load the hell up right now. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am loading up on my Ethereum and loading up on my Bitcoin. I've been loading up on Bitcoin for a while, but now that Ethereum has gone down to these depths, I am loading up on a bunch of Ethereum every time I get a chance. And I'll be loading up on more altcoins if we have a little bit more dips. I have loaded up on some altcoins. I keep loading up on ADA, on Polygon, Chainlink. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I wouldn't put it past Russian authorities. Nah, I don't think it was planned. I think, do you know anything about Brittany Griner? Can we be honest? Go look at her record. She doesn't make great decisions. Okay? Brittany Griner's not this innocent child that's never done anything. Again, I'm not here to bash the woman or whatever, but it's if you see some of the mistakes she's made in the past, leaving a vape cartridge in her luggage, trust me, it's nothing compared to domestic violence. So, yeah, no. Brittany Griner's very capable of doing that. That part I don't believe. That part I believe that she did bring that cartridge in. Yeah, I do. Notice how her wife didn't say, well, she doesn't smoke. She didn't do it. That's a lie. Nobody's come out with any of that. None. Nada, nay. No one's fought that part of it at all. They just say it's silly that they're jailing her for that. Notice. Pay attention. So, yeah, no, she's very capable of doing that. Go look at the history and you'll see. So many great players that played with the Dolphins belong in the Hall of Fame. Offerdahl was injured a lot. Yeah. AJ Dewey had great games, but injuries did him in. Louis Oliver was awesome to watch too, but he would hit hard. Plus, yeah, but Louis Oliver was a nice player. He was never a great player. Let's be honest now, okay? Let's be completely honest. Louis Oliver was a hitter. There's no doubt about that, but he was not a good cover safety. Okay? He just was not a good cover safety. Let's just, let's not create this history that doesn't exist. And let's not get nostalgic now and start to create legends that aren't really there. Louis Oliver was a nice player. a hell of a hitter. Yeah, he was a thumper. There's no doubt. If he got you, he could thump you. But there's a lot of times that he was a matador and he missed and whiffed, and the play was going the other way and going for a big play. So, let's pump the brakes. Nice player, but let's not get crazy now. All right? Let's not get crazy now. Put it this way. I can already tell you that Javon Holland, barring injury, will have a much better career than Louis Oliver and will be a much better player than Louis Oliver. Like, way better. Like 1,000% better. Okay? Minkah Fitzpatrick, who they drafted before him, is already better than Louis Oliver ever was. Let's not create legends that don't exist. All right? Let's not expand talents to boundaries where they don't belong. All right? Yeah. I love Louis Oliver against Buffalo. Well, Kelly knocked him out once, but he got the better part. I don't say he was incapable of it. Possibly it may have been planted. Yeah, I don't think so. I think she kind of made a mistake. She made a stupid move, unfortunately. Jeremiah Bell was better. Probably, yes. You are right. I would take Jeremiah Bell over him, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just nice player, but, sometimes too many of you make the legend of Oliver a little bigger than what it really was if you watched his career. All right, let's get ready for hour number 4. It'll be a short one. We're not going the whole hour. We're going to have George Richards on. We're going to talk a little Okie with him. And it is time for the ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment with George Richards. That is next.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider George Richards. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's FloridaHockeyNow.com insider George Richards.
Hi, we are ready to go. We are ready to rock. So is George Richards. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at GeorgeRichards.com, or at George Richards, I'm sorry, on Twitter. How you doing, George? How you hanging in there, my man?
Well, hi, Orlando. How are you, bud? What's going on?
I am very good, sir. I cannot complain. Good. Unless the Panthers don't do something. So talk to me.
This is a big week. This is a big week for the Panthers.
Why? Why is it a big week? Educate us.
We've got the NHL draft, which starts on Thursday. 2-day event. First round on Thursday in Montreal, and then rounds 2nd through 7. 2nd through 7th round on Friday. Florida does not have a first-round pick or a second-round pick. They won't be picking until the 3rd round. No big deal. So what? It's going to be some kid nobody's ever heard of. The big thing is this is where trades go down. The NHL draft is where a lot of the work gets done. A lot of the trades get made. Florida Panthers right now, $3 million under the salary cap. It'll be about $6 when you factor in Anthony Duclair's $3 million. Right. He'll go on long-term injured reserve to at least start the season. He's got the Achilles tendon. He had surgery on that. But with him probably coming back by the All-Star break, that money's going to jump back in at some point, unless you do a Tampa Bay Lightning deal where you leave him on LTIR the entire season and then activate him for the playoffs. In an 82-game season, that's hard to do. That would really be a deal that wouldn't be good for the Panthers nor for Anthony DeClaire. So Panthers have to make some moves. They have to create some cap space. They have to make some deals. There's probably going to be some players moved here. And this will be the week that some of that at least gets started. There'll be something that goes down this week.
So who's that something that goes down? Who gets shipped? Who's
we
out?
wrote today? Yeah, today. I mean, the big name, the number that you look at is Patrick Hornquist.
Horny.
As much as the Panthers love him, as much as the fans love him, as much as everybody loves Hornquist, he's got a $5.7 million cap hit, which is almost twice what the Panthers have without DeClaire. It's almost twice as, the Panthers could double, he's a fourth line guy now. I mean, he plays 12 minutes a game. Everybody loves his locker room presence. Everybody loves his net fronts presence. But that is quite a luxury to have, a player making that kind of money on a team that has a salary cap concern like the Panthers do. So that could be one that's moved. There could be others, who knows. But again, this will be big because the Panthers want to re-sign Mason Marchment. They want to re-sign Claude Giroux. Can't do that right now, but maybe if you move some money, you can at least start to put those together.
Yeah. So, all right. And it doesn't look like there's that big trade out there for them to add a star that I truly feel they need.
Yeah. Right.
So if there's not, then from within, who's the guy that has to come up from the minors? Who's the guy that has to come up from the bench? Who's the guy that has to be not a star, but a really impactful player next year to help this team take another step forward? Because if you're not going to be able to trade for that stud that I really want them to do,
right,
then what else do they need to do? Because you're telling me, and you've been telling us this already now for several weeks, there's not a lot of flexibility.
There's not, and they don't have any draft capital. That's
Right.
the other thing. When you want to make a blockbuster move, you're going to have to throw in some first-round picks, yada, yada. The Panthers don't have their next 3 draft picks, their next 3 first-round picks, because one went to Buffalo when you got Sam Reinhart. That was your guy. Last year, you gave up your number 1 pick. This year for Sam Reinhart. Huge move. You do it again.
Right.
You gave up the other first-round pick for Ben Sherratt. You gave up the 3rd for Claude Giroux. So now you don't have a first-round pick until, 2026, something like that. So you don't have that to move, and that's what it's going to take to get a blockbuster deal done. They've already done their blockbuster deal, so they're done with that. That said, who could come up? Now, that's very interesting. You've got Grigory Denisenko. He's a guy that was a first-round pick in 2018. He played this season in Charlotte. He had a broken kneecap, missed the second half of the season. He's a guy the Panthers have a lot of. He's got a lot of promise. He's a speedy, skilled winger. He's a guy that might be able to come up and step in and become a nice piece of this puzzle. Or he could be a draft. He could be a trade piece. A lot of teams are very interested in Grigory Denisenko. The skill level is off the charts. And he's still very, very young. I believe he's only 19 or 20 years old. So Grigory Denisenko named to notice. Saron Noel, 6'5". Power forward. He could be a guy that you put on your 4th line if Patrick Hornquist is to go. He's a guy at that size. He's got good hands. His skating needs some work, but on the 4th line, he might be okay there. So you got Alexei Heponiemi. He's played a few games here in the NHL. Had a nice season in Charlotte. He's a guy that could come up and probably will come up next year because Noel Acciari is a free agent. He's probably not coming back. You're going to have some holes here on this team. And some of those young guys, this Husko kid from Boston College, mature kid, he's 23, 24 years old, had a very nice year in Charlotte as well. So the Panthers do have some young players. Now, there's no Jonathan Huberdeau, Sasha Barkovs down there in Charlotte, or they would have been here by now. But you're hoping that a few of them turn into something nice.
Well, I mean, it's kind of my only hope right now, because in a way, if you're the Panthers, brother, the way you're going to sell to this to the crowd at least. I'm going to watch no matter what. I've been watching him for years and trying to help sell Panthers to people and get them on the bandwagon. But that average fan or the fan that's even on the other side of the fence, we're not going to bring them over unless you make a deep run into the damn playoffs.
Right. And you've got that team right now. This team is still very, very good. I mean, the core
But the average person still doesn't appreciate what they see right now.
And that's just the problem. Well, you can't help that then. I mean, what do you can't make trades like getting Sam Reinhart every single year because you don't have first round picks anymore. The Panthers have made those moves. They made those moves to make a deep run this year, and they went to the second round. They still have a very good team. They still have a team that should be in the top 3 in the Atlantic, if not the best team in the Atlantic. This is still a very good team. And listen, you're talking about Bill Zito, the general manager of this Panther team. When he first took over, a lot of people weren't sure what the Panthers were going to look like. We thought this was going to be the cheapest team in the National Hockey League the way things started. But those players that he brought in were tremendous value, and that was his point the whole time. Carter Verhaeghe. Nobody down here had ever heard of Carter Verhaeghe before. He was a guy that couldn't play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he scores 20-something goals. They got him for $1 million. Anthony Duclair. Nobody in South Florida had ever heard of Anthony Duclair. He got 30 goals last year. So, listen, it's not just Bill Zito. He's got a terrific front office staff. They work in tandem. They've got a lot of scouting going on. The Panthers are going to find value. They don't have money to spend, but they're going to find value. Are they going to be splashed on the front page of the Miami Herald? No, because you're going to be like, okay, well, this guy did such and such in Ottawa. Okay. And then boom, they come to Florida and they fit right in, and they, and who knows? Listen, the first trade that Bill Zito made was unloading Mike Matheson for Patrick Hornquist. That contract was seemingly unmovable. And not only did Bill Zito get Pittsburgh to take it, he got them to also take on another player that he didn't want in Colton Sevier and take on that $1.5 million contract. The guy's has really done a good job as the general manager. Let's give him a week. Let's give him 2 weeks. Let's give him a month and see what he can come up with.
Yeah,
I mean, the roster that we're looking at right now will not be the Panthers roster on opening night.
Right. All right.
But I know what you're saying.
I just want them to succeed.
You want
man.
Connor McDavid to come to the Panthers.
Yeah, I want a badass.
That ain't happening. That's just
I want a badass. I want a badass. How about Flip? How about Forsberg?
I don't think that's happening. He's got an 8-year contract extension offer. He's got the max term in Nashville. Even if Florida could bring him in, they can't afford him. So, there's a salary cap. Vinny Viola is spending the money. These aren't the old Panthers. This isn't
no. The ownership,
where the Panthers were barely making the floor.
Yeah, no. We got a badass.
If they had a $120 million salary cap, I think the Panthers would spend to it. I mean, that's how Vinny works.
Does Flip want out? Does he want out of Nashville?
And if he does, he'll go somewhere that can pay him a contract commensurate to what Nashville's offering, and Florida can't do that. So unless you get rid of Huberdeau.
That's what I'm saying. There you go. That's what.
So
just out of curiosity.
You've already got so many guys. I mean, there's so many contracts. You can only have so many of those big ticket contracts in the NHL. Because of the COVID. Right now, the Florida Panthers and the rest of the NHL, if COVID doesn't happen, they were thinking that the salary cap now would be at about closer to $90 million, and it's at 82.5. I mean, nothing. A lot of teams have gotten,
and they've made pretty good progress
if you
overall.
Told the Panthers that in 2023-22 that the salary cap would be $82.5 million, they would not have signed Sergei Bobrovsky for that money. They would have carved off some of those millions of dollars. Maybe he gets a 7-year at $8 million instead of 10. But they thought that the salary cap was going to grow. A lot of teams did. There are a lot of teams. Tampa Bay. They were all looking ahead, thinking, okay, by 2022, we're looking at $90 million. That would solve a lot of problems. But, the NHL's kept it static, and, even though revenues are growing.
Having said all that, they've done a good job producing revenue. They've actually grown. So I give them a lot of credit.
They lost so much in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, the Panthers were one of the few teams that had fans in the stands for that entire 2021 season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They only had 5,000 max. And they were one of the few teams. I think the Florida Panthers led the league in attendance last year.
DeSantis
with 5,000 people in the stands.
The power of DeSantis, baby. Yeah, giving you some butts in seats. All right, I'll let you go with this. So, who would you rather have, Hubie or Flip? Are you better with which one?
You're better with Huberdeau. That's your guy. He's your guy. You sign Huberdeau to an exit. And plus, let's don't forget.
No. Is Hubie the better player?
Yeah. Huberdeau's the better guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's 30 years old when this new contract starts, and you've got him this year for $5.9 million. Huberdeau's money doesn't kick in till the following season. So his money's on the books right now. He's good. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. But if you feel Hubie's a better player than Flip, okay, then it's not worth making. Then it's not worth making the trade. Then.
Yeah, I think you ride with the horse you came in. You got Huberdeau. He's your guy. He's a stalwart. He's your franchise leader and everything. That's who you go with.
Yeah, I can't find another frustrated guy out there. I keep looking and reading articles trying to see, but there'll
be little guys. There'll be somebody that comes in. There'll be a Carter Verhaeghe that the Panthers find. Some guy that was in Las Vegas and couldn't, that the Panthers are finding those guys. They're very good at it too.
Yeah. No, yeah. They've done that very well over the last couple of years. You're right about that. All right. What do you got working on Florida Hockey Now so they can check you out, my friend?
Well, today we have a story on Patrick Hornquist, the future of him with the Florida Panthers. Obviously, he has one more year left on his contract. Will he play it out here? I don't think so, but we'll see. And tomorrow we're going to talk about Florida not having a first-round pick, but who have been the top players that the Panthers have been able to draft over the past 20 years outside of the first round. They've hit on a few, names, Mackenzie Weegar, Vincent Trocheck, are guys that the Panthers were able to draft outside of the first round. Now the Panthers your core guys have all been the high picks, right? The 1, the 2, the 3, the Barkov, the Huberdeau, the Ekblad. But Florida's been able to find some gems later and they're going to have to find a lot now. Because
you wrote about 64-year-old Joe Thornton. Is he coming back?
I wrote about Joe Thornton. I think that was on Sunday about his future in Florida. Right now, again, we just talked about Patrick Hornquist and what he gives you as a luxury at that kind of money. The Florida Panthers would love Joe Thornton to be there for Udonis Haslem, but they can't afford it.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, exactly. That's kind of what it
So
feels
that's
like.
at FloridaHockeyNow.com as well.
That's right. So check it out at George Richards on Twitter and subscribe to Florida Hockey Now. It's like $3 a month and you get great coverage. He writes his ass off in that.
We're celebrating our third birthday this week.
How about that? Nice.
Thursday, our third birthday, FloridaHockeyNow.com.
We're here celebrating and supporting you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, we'll catch up. We'll catch up next week, George. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Elena.
You got it. That is your lockdown segment. Lenny Locksmith, all throughout South Florida, down to Miami, all the way up to Port St. Lucie. You call LennyLocksmith.com, man. They know how to get it done there at Lenny Locksmith, baby. They are 855-869-5625. That's 855-869-5625. By the way, our friends in Orlando and Tampa, we also have locations there, and we have one in Phoenix, Arizona, LennyLocksmith.com.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at LennyLocksmith.com.
All righty. Yeah, once in a while I'll talk some music things, and I ran into this whole. I'm a huge Van Halen fan, and they are trying to do an Eddie Van Halen tribute tour, and so they say former Van Halen singer David Lee Roth, and you use that loosely, is holding up the potential of a Van Halen tribute tour or concert, mentioned by ex-Metallica bassist Jason Newsted in an interview. And according to Eddie Trunk, in April, Newsted suggested that the track was to feature him, guitarist Joe Satriani, and another former, and Alex Van Halen, surviving drummer, and of course, in honor of Eddie Van Halen. But such a Van Halen tribute may not come all together as a launch. Sirius XM Trunk said that on the rock show Trunk Nation, a very reliable source told them that the holdup of the Van Halen anything happening is a lot falling on David Lee Roth. That David Lee Roth, to no surprise, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, is difficult guy to wrangle, a difficult guy to get an answer on, a difficult guy to get focused on anything, a difficult guy to sign off on anything. Trunk confirmed he's all over the map, and as you would expect, he's seen throughout the history, and the big holdups of anything happening with Van Halen is not Alex, who wants to do it and is trying, and it's actually Roth who needs to sign off and be involved. The stumbling block is trying to get Alex and Dave on the same page, and Dave wanting to do this and figure out how they're going to do this. Here's the only thing. Newsted, by the way, told the Palm Beach Post, that Alex had personally selected him and Satch as the basis and agreed to travel to California to jam with them and see how it felt. But he admitted he sensed it would be impossible to do justice to Van Halen's legacy. He says, how could you do it justice? There's nobody that can top it. So how could you do a show to honor it? I don't want it to be viewed as a money grab. And then it just kind of all fizzled. Nice that the Palm Beach Post is getting in there too on top of all of that. Now, here's the thing that I would have to all of this. First of all, a Van Halen tribute tour is bullshit. Nobody's Van Halen. Nobody's going to play like Eddie. You're not going to be able to honor his memory because there's only one. You're not going to be able to honor Jimi Hendrix because there's only one. Okay? And for years now, David Lee Roth cannot sing. So what are you doing? It is a money grab. And those of you that are Van Halen fans, what are you seeing when you go to see that? Give me a break, dude. You're just watching a bunch of good musicians together, but they're just playing Van Halen music. That's all. There's nothing there of substance. One of the things that has, I've kind of, I've gone to less and less concerts now lately. It's because a lot of these acts they're at a point where they're done and you can't see them anymore and they can't perform. And it just it's a money grab. And that's what this all is. Brother, Alex and Sammy, what's it called? Go back to Chickenfoot. Go do your stuff. Everybody go their own way. Van Halen's gone. Those days are done. It's past. Those of us that got to enjoy the Van Halen side or the Van Hager side, hey, God bless you, man. But the heart and soul of all of that was Eddie Van Halen. You cannot replace Eddie Van Halen. Anything else is a money grab. And for fans out there, you're not seeing Eddie Van Halen. You're not seeing Van Halen. You're not seeing anything that resembles what Van Halen was. Because you have no Eddie and you have no David. Roth can't sing. He can't do what he used to do. He can't be the front man he used to be. Hell, you're better off doing this crap if you want to do this Van Halen tribute shit. You might as well just do it with Sammy Hagar because at least you'll do it with a professional that can actually sing still. I saw that story and it's like, let it go already. The man passed away and he cannot be replaced. A little history today in music. In 1965, Marty Ballin and Paul Cantor formed a folk rock group that would go on to become Jefferson Airplane. In 1988, Slayer released their fourth album on this date, South of Heaven. In 1969, on this date, the Stones turned their free Hyde Park concert into a memorial service for the late co-founding member Brian Jones, who died in a swimming pool on July 3rd. In 1994, on this date, Hootie and the Blowfish released their debut album, Cracked Rearview Mirror, which went on to become the best-selling album in the history of Atlantic Records. Let me repeat that again. because I was floored, because I am old enough to grow up on Atlantic Records and know about all the different incredible acts that were on Atlantic Records. Let me repeat that again, because I had no idea about this stat. In 1994, Hootie and the Blowfish released their debut album, Cracked Rear View, which is the one that has what's it called? You Make Me Cry, the Dolphins Make Me Cry, or whatever. Anyway, it went on to become the best-selling album in the history of Atlantic Records. Are you kidding me? Wow. Anyway, in 78 on this date, EMI stopped production of the Stones' Some Girls album after some of the celebrities depicted on the cover art complained about the use of their images. Okay, and there you go. So those are some of the things that happened in a little rock and roll history. Just to do a little music for you all out there. By the way, if you want to join our platform, your business wants to promote your goods, your services on this platform and reach thousands locally, statewide, nationally, internationally, then you can reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664 if you want to reach out to us there and join our platform and support us. Thank you all out there, as always. All right. What else do we have here on the Welt and Rayom text line? Hey, to a brother, I saw the Elvis movie this past Saturday. It was great. He had a very sad life. Don't want to tell you too much about it. Dolphin fan Jeff from Long Island. Well, I kind of know most about a lot of the sad stuff that went on in his life. So I kind of know. I know pretty much most of his story. I have not watched the new movie, but people like it, so I will definitely check it out. All right, we are out of here. We got to thank Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, George Richards, Anthony Chang. We thank, of course, the one and only Sean Stanley getting it done, mastering this program every single day. I'm going to go finish packing and get ready to get the hell out of here and fly out to Vegas. I hope my flight is on time. And we shall see you tomorrow from Vegas. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one. Love you all.